Welcome to the annual World Finals preview episode here at Plat Chat, episode 283, joined by the regulars, Raelyni and AVRL. And of course, we've got Spilo here, who usually doesn't appear on our esports episodes, but you're here to reality check us and just make sure that we're in line, okay? I need the motivational video kind of personality to come out in full form here and make sure that we do things the right way here going to the World Finals.
Sure. Wouldn't that just be calling like every team a miserable failure before they even show up? Isn't that kind of par for the course?
Yeah, I mean, look, some people, you know, they make a personality out of that, so I guess it works.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
If that's what you want to do, we can complain about, you know, the space taking. We can complain about
angles. That's always a low-hanging fruit. Yeah.
It depends on how hard you want to go. I'm down for it. I'm down for anything. But I need you to like just reality check us here a little bit, because sometimes we get out of whack in these episodes.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Great. AVRL, how much caffeine have you had? What is it, like 7 a.m. over there?
I went to bed. I was like, oh, finally I can sleep. And I was like, do we have Plat Chat tomorrow? I was like, oh, no, we do. I had no sleep then.
No, you didn't sleep again?
Oh, minimal sleep.
Okay.
What's minimal sleep, though, for you, AVRL?
Move on to the next topic, please.
We're not DJing shaming AVRL today.
No. I am. I don't know about
Bring up Spilo's bracket. Talk about Spilo's bracket right now.
we will get there. We're just looking out for you, AVRL. Ray, I don't have a question for you. We're just normal people, I'd like to believe.
Ask her about balloons.
How's the balloons going?
I did. I played it for like a week.
For like a week.
Yeah.
Wait, I know balloons. Balloons.
I got bored, but I did play it.
You downloaded Balloons 5, which is not even 6.
Whichever
Actually,
the newest, whichever one you guys played, that's when I downloaded.
She's going through from 1 to 6. You got to get all the prequels in there so you can understand the story. If you don't have the backstory,
there's
how can you
lore?
play Balloons 6 if you don't know this full storyline? You got to play it from 1.
I didn't read the first 5 books. Like I just went straight into the 6th one.
That's what I'm saying.
Incredible.
You don't know the backstory. You don't know the lore.
The lore behind the aqua monkeys or whatever.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Aqua monkeys or whatever. Okay.
We had this conversation, Spilo, that when Ray tries to coach her players, all they do is like play balloons and stuff during the.
They're just literally like I'm talking and they're like playing like games on their phone or something like that. One time I heard TikToks. I was like, y'all are not serious, right?
No. Legit.
They're like, no, I just opened it.
This generation is screwed, man. Like it's actually impossible for people to sit still quietly and listen anymore.
This is why the gap is not closing. This is why the Koreans are on top. Because we're playing balloons.
I generally only do that if AVRL's talking. Beyond that, I'm like full locked in. But that's because it's usually something to listen to.
Every time you talk, I just watch balloons. Actually, I pause the video. I've unpaused it. I pause it again. Now I've unpaused it.
All right. Well, we need to get together and be friends for 2 hours. And
we are friends. I don't know why he's suddenly like starting to throw all the beef.
I was reading those group up podcast YouTube comments, and I realized, AVRL, how much you've been gaslighting me. The YouTube chat community, YouTube comments really helped me to understand how evil you are. Before that, I didn't really grasp it, but thankfully, I've listened to the community, and I'm a new man now.
You're just giving the people what they want.
Chains.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. This guy's been taking advantage of me. I just didn't even know it. Who would have thought?
Well, they've been onboarding some Marvel Rivals fans, so I think that doesn't help AVRL either.
True.
Yeah, but then you got to. It's a coin flip. It's like, do they hate him more or me more from the Marvel Rivals perspective? You know, because there's different reasons there.
I sold out, so I don't know.
I like to poke and prod them a little bit more, but he was deeper in there, and so he's probably viewed as more of a traitor to them. So it's like, I don't know which one it is.
That's true.
No, AVRL, just from my perspective, you're like every day with a dagger. Just like, here's another Marvel Rivals tweet talking about how they're copying heroes. Their heroes,
because they keep tweeting.
The heroes poop thing was just incredible.
What?
It got the numbers too.
Can you explain that sentence to me, please? The heroes poop thing.
Dude,
okay.
It's my brain is Swedishism.
I've watched so much Overwatch the past week in prep that my brain is just melted away. But you had like a tweet, and there was the fucking Hey Arnold, that show, and there was like, you know, there was like poop
that
on a conveyor belt describing the monthly hero releases in Marvel Rivals and how they're not,
okay. I see. Yeah.
and how they're nothing special. They're just every month there's a new dog shit Marvel Rivals hero.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Overwatch's newest hero is just a copy of Magic. So
True.
like,
Yeah. True.
Didn't you know everything Overwatch does is a copy? Didn't you know that when Overwatch re-released 6v6, that was also actually a copy?
I did see
Overwatch
that.
has
I was
never
like
done anything
copying
original ever.
6v6. I will say there was that one rage bait guy on Twitter that everyone dude flatted a whole react to his tweet. I'm like, dude, this guy's rage baiting. There's no way this guy's thing is rage baiting, and everyone's like, I'm too serious. I'm like, come on, guys. But yeah, here we are. Isn't that the thing about Marvel Rivals can't shut up about Overwatch? And this is an Overwatch podcast. I think we should move on.
Look what AVRL did. Let's be the bigger podcast,
guys.
yeah.
Gosh,
Look, even the best of us, we fall for rage bait sometimes. Because just a couple of weeks ago, I fell for Kev's rage bait, and then I deleted my tweet because I was like, "Oh, they're actually rage baiting."
Wait. What
Like,
was
oh,
the
that's
rage bait? Because that's Overwatch related.
No, there's someone who's like, the Overwatch Twitter community has like a small amount of like niche. I don't want to call them celebrities because they're niche, but they're like, they constantly tweet about Overwatch Esports every single day. And recently there's been an account growing. I don't know if it has hundreds of followers, low thousands of followers, but all they do is like tweet rage bait, like Chio is dog shit and stuff like. No, it's not even the hot takes. It's not hot takes. It's not the I kill people account. It's someone else, but all they do is like, oh, Chio is dog shit, Fielder is overrated. And then I fell for a Kevster tweet and I was like, oh. Actually, I blame Liar. Liar put their account onto my feed, so screw Liar.
There's also
I'm down to always blame a Lucio player. So
there's also like really niche memes that I scroll along. I'm like, what is this? Like, I feel like I'm too old. There's some PGE meme about some like heaven alternative that he streams from. I'm like, what is it? The whole video, a whole little clip on it. I was like, man, like this is. I feel like I need to be 9 years old to understand this average age of which enjoys these days. I think.
Well, who are we trying to be fans of here? Like,
no, I was gonna say literally everybody under 20 has just exited the stream.
Yeah,
like, it's just like an exodus. Bunch of boomers complaining
They were
about.
never here to start with.
Audience?
They were never here to start with.
It's the Reinhardt
Marvel
dads.
Rivals players ideally would be target audience.
All right. Well, let's get into today's episode. So we're going to do a bit of a World Finals preview. There's lots to talk about. We're going to do a bit of a preview of all the teams participating. We got our own brackets to reveal. We'll talk a little about the patch going into it. But I just quickly want a big picture format going into the event itself. So we don't have to spend too much time on this. But we do have another crowdfunding bundle. Great to see. I actually kind of like the looks of it. I quit 2 of those skins. I think Freya, Juno, they both look great. Still 25%, I believe, only goes to the prize pool, which I know some people have a problem with. AVRL, how do you feel about the 20?
26.
Jesus fucking Christ. This episode is going to be a mess.
The rage bait's already started.
I can't.
If you want to hear some rage bait, let me talk about them copying the Juno skin. Blizzard copying themselves. I'm out of here.
If someone wants to be on this podcast and be a serious
one,
individual, please DM me on Twitter.
That would be rage bait. Serious
I
commentary would be to say that there's nothing wrong with 25.
The 25 is higher,
fine.
but they also
it would be
included
nice if it was higher, but 25 I think is perfectly fine. A lot of esports, if they do this, is 25. You know. Also, other esports, if they do this at any, if it was 1%, it would be brave and empowering. If Overwatch did it, it's just no matter what the number is, it's unfortunate. You know,
they could do 100%, and it's like, no, that's still not.
Blizzard could do 101%. People are like, oh, it's just so scummy. You know, it's so terrible.
I don't know. To me, the elephant in the room, which is like all the pro players should just be thanking and kissing the feet of the Blizzard Overlords for, is the freaking Mercy skin.
Yeah, they put Mercy in it. There you go.
Like, they know what they're doing, man. They know what they're doing. What would be the best crowdfunding? But would it be Kiriko, Mercy, Genji? Is that the strat, guys?
Something like that, yeah.
Has to be, no?
Would do you think it's better to like overload with the people who buy a lot of skins, like Mercy, Kiri, or better to do like one per role? Because then you could do like Rein, Genji, Mercy. Those are like...
No, but people don't play tank.
True, that's right. It's a 5v5 format, kill tank, so nobody plays tank anymore.
Okay.
But
that's why you gotta do. That's why this bundle is 2 supports, 1 DPS.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I think
the skins are cool though. I think the skins are cool. I like the color scheme. I like you said, I love the Juno skin. The previous one, the recolor, I don't care. I'll use it probably as well. They're cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's an awesome bundle here, and you know, sometimes you would also want to ask for like 50% rev share or something like that, but I don't know. In 2025, maybe that's too much to ask for in this current esports space. I don't know. 25% it is, so please buy the bundle, support the players. Let's get into the bracket itself. So we've had a lot of different formats, a lot of different. Spilo, you're distracting me. But I'm so excited about the format because I feel like we've finally just come to the conclusion that these huge brackets bring the most entertainment. And it's always a fantastic tournament, whether you look at the 2022 Midseason Madness, 2022 playoffs was also some of the most remembered awesome tournaments. And it's because we had huge brackets like this. So 5 days of play. Maybe there's something about the seeding to be said. I'm not sure. How do we feel about the format heading into a World Finals event compared to like EWC or events like that?
I like double LM, so.
I like double LM as well. I mean, I know it just stretches things out more, but it's so much more narratively interesting and makes it feel a little less RNG, just a little less, which is good, I think.
Yeah, I kind of like the group stage, at least for mid-season. But we obviously just don't have the time to play through. At least we've got more teams. I think this would be disappointing if we only had, same as last year, 8 teams for the grand final, for the world final. At least we've got 12.
Yeah.
But this type of situation is always going to have some sort of issue with seeding. I mean, you could argue that a group stage would still potentially invite some seeding issues, as I think at midseason it did actually have 1 or 2 situations that was kind of weird in groups.
Yeah.
But I think this bracket is generally pretty fine, except for how they decided that NA and EU would both be opening games on the top side of the bracket. And it just shoved both of them up there. I don't know what they were doing there.
Yeah, I don't know actually. I mean, this gets hugely complicated because basically, you know, one of the losing teams in the first round is then going to play one of the losing teams in the second round in the upper bracket. So like if you're trying to follow along at home, it quickly gets confusing about who plays who because it flips in the first losers round. So it gets complicated. I do think that we're looking at a couple like NA, EMEA matchups in the lower bracket as well. So that might be the case that that is a quite common occurrence. But love the bracket. First to 2. Not optimal, but like you have to make these compromises to make the schedule work right. And I think you could also make the case that, you know, we have so many teams here, but realistically, like Peps or VARREL or even Team CC, like they're never going to win this event. So maybe to some people it's a waste of time, but I feel like for others it's about representation. Like the fact that we can have a Japanese team being invited to the World Finals, I think, you know, it's just a celebration of the Japanese Overwatch scene, right? Because even if they're not the most skilled region, it's one of the most popular regions, and you know they're really growing as a scene. So it's great to at least have one team here in the World Finals bracket. So
this is like you go to Hangzhou and we didn't have a single NA-EU game, and then Blizzard like, all right, let's change it up, and now it's just like NA-EU straight away twice. They just force it in there.
I think it reminds me a little bit, which is like definitely a bit of a bag of worms with competitive ventures, but when people were talking about like venture skins, it's like, oh, but Curie skins sell the money. It's like, but yeah, but you never saw a venture skin. So there's something to be said for like regional representation, at least a small micro dose, just to encourage people to continue to compete within that region, which indirectly may further the competitiveness long term. So as long as those regions are not overrepresented, which maybe there's a discussion to be had there, then I think it's fine. You know, like you look at like as VARREL is the Japanese team, right?
Yeah.
Like, sure. I mean, that's going to be probably really exciting for a lot of the Japanese community and might level up the level of encourage that community to be more competitive moving forward. And I mean, if we can throw them a bone, I mean, they certainly deserve it with how well Overwatch has been doing there as of recently. So I'm fine with it. And when does first to 3 kick in? Is it the second bracket of both
round.
losers and winners? Yeah. Okay.
No, it's first to 2. Oh,
I think it's first to
3.
2 only in uppers, right? Or is it?
No,
is it,
the
I
entire
can't
first
read.
round is FT2, and then it starts FT3 after that.
Okay.
Okay.
That seems fair. That seems fair.
Yeah, I think having a losers bracket makes the first to 2 like not feel as terrible, right? Like, you know, let's say that you just get shit seeding, and then you're like, you lose your game like 2-1 or something, then you have a chance to do a losers run if you really deserve to like make it top.
I feel like
4 or something.
I feel like one team's going to get screwed kind of sort of or have something to complain about. They'll be like, yo, we had like a really crappy first match, like, and then we ended up in a really the bad side of the bracket, and then the map seeding we screwed up. But it's like, if you did lose 4 maps in a row, I mean, yeah, maybe you could have placed better, but like you probably weren't going to go far anyway. So it's about as good of a if we're going to have double elimination, then that's probably about it. I'd rather have double in first to 2 than single in first to 3 personally.
Yeah, especially without a group stage. Yeah, especially without a groups.
Isn't it weird on the bracket? Match 1 is the 3rd game. CC versus T1 is match 1.
Don't ask.
Falcons VARREL is match 2. And then you go to the top of the bracket, SSG Peps is match 3. What?
Yeah, it's the isn't it the way they're played? I think the first match of the tournament is Team CCT1 and then Falcons VARREL.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you just start at SSG Peps?
I don't fucking
know.
Why
wouldn't you just start there?
I don't.
Maybe they're trying to be time zone friendly. That's the only thing I can think of.
Ooh. Well,
that's actually true. Yeah.
It's so time zone friendly that, get this, guys, we're playing the whole thing in Sweden.
Wait, that's actually correct, Ray. Yeah, because they're putting the NA teams on the back end of the European day. Wow.
Yeah.
That's not like
Look at that.
Look at that. Didn't even think of that. Yeah, I think from this perspective, like there's been some discussion about like who are the lucky teams and who got like a bad draw here. I think it's quite easy to say that yes, GK, you're the 3rd seed, but having to play Qadsiah, and then potentially playing the loser of Twisted Minds T1, I'd say that's a pretty tough draw for GK. So
yeah,
sucks to them.
I think SSG's like run looks pretty good for them, to be honest. Like if you do all the
steps. So yes, I have it in front of me. So if SSG theoretically beat Peps, they would play CR, probably lose to CR. Spoiler, that's in my bracket. They're losing to CR. And then they would play VARREL, with VARREL losing to Falcons. So like, yes, Space Station has a fairly easy bracket. It's going to be interesting to talk about the Chinese teams. I think Weibo Gaming is another team that one could argue, yes, they have to play the winner of Qadsiah GK, but they have a fairly convenient way to get top 6 in the tournament. So that's another team I'd look at as, you know, we'll have to see how good they are, but they have a relatively easy way to secure a higher placement in the tournament. So, but we can get into the brackets themselves later. I quickly want to touch on the not the hero pool. Thank God we don't have hero pools anymore. Map pool. Let's quickly just walk over the map pool as well. I think there's the usual suspects. No Lijiang Tower, but we still have Ilios in there, and I think that's going to be the preference for at least some of the teams in the tournament here.
I think most of them will probably go there.
Most of them might favor Ilios here. But then, you know, Shambali Monastery, I don't think we've had in the western regions for quite some time here. I do think it has been in Saudi League. I know that Qadsiah and Twisted Minds played it.
I don't think it's been in since stage 1 of OWCS. Is that right? It's been a while.
Yeah, that might be the case there. No Atlas, so that's quite noteworthy as well. AVRL, you got any opinions on the map pool overall here? Does it look fairly balanced?
I'm one of those weird guys that doesn't mind seeing Circuit Royale, and I'm just like, bro, bring back Circuit. I know people hate playing it, but at the pro level, I think it's a good map.
Yeah,
it's EMEA's best chance for a lot of things. I think that's where you can run all the Ryan Ram sim scum, you know. So like, it's the brawl,
and
nonsense.
It is scum. You're not wrong.
Yeah, but it's the RNG map, right? And that's going to be the West's best chance, I think, depending on the meta, right? So, you know, Ilios goes without saying, right? But looking at like a lot of the hybrid escort here, there's a lot of maps here that feel pretty honest. It's going to be hard to scam some of those hybrid maps. Like I don't see Blizz Kings or Midtown being scammable, to be honest.
There's no Gibraltar, which really hurts Dive a little bit here.
Shambali you could scam for sure. Shambali you can run the 3-point cringe that we used to see back in the day, but if
Midtown is pretty cheesable, no?
First point, yeah. First point, sure, yeah, true. More so than the other ones for sure, but it's gonna be tricky. It's not like I said, no circuit, and it's gonna be difficult. But to be fair, I think most hybrid maps are pretty difficult. Like I can't think what hybrid maps can you scam on. I mean, Ike is no bueno.
Can you elaborate what you mean by scam?
What does scam mean? Is it just mean run brawl? Like, is that what you mean?
Yeah. Run like off meta stuff. Okay, listen. When we're talking about EMEA, it's Sam. It's Symmetra. Like let's just cut to the chase. We're talking
Kings
about Symmetra.
Row is an insane Symmetra map.
Yeah,
So,
sure, but there's enough verticality, third point. You know, you can run dive tanks, you can run Pharah, you can run Echo, you can run Hanzo. So it depends. It depends. We'll see.
Scam stands for symmetric and affect the map.
Yes. Now. Oh no, that's the
great.
wrong letter. That's scan, not scam. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Say scan or scam?
yeah, map
Depends.
and
Scan or scam.
usually when we look at the map pools here, you know, we mentioned the usual suspects like Ilios, Gibraltar. I feel like you have to look at the extremities of the map pool, just like what are like really hard dive maps, you know, what are really, you know, brawly maps, you know, if you want to play something like a King's Row, for example. So I do fear a little bit that there are maps that are going to just be perma-played by some teams, you know, Korean teams, they will pick Ilios, right? And then, you know, if they're facing a non-dive team, you know, maybe an EMEA team, they'll probably, you know, try to deny Dorado by going to like Shamboli Monastery or like something like that, right? So I think we might get into a scenario, at least when I talk about my bracket later on, that like I do think that first map pick for Ilios is going to be massively important in the outcome of some series, actually.
Yep.
Because that has like a trickle down effect on the loser's map pick for the rest of the series and how you treat some of these game modes, right? So I think it's undeniable
Ilios Dorado,
that's the
man.
work.
That combo's rough. Even if you
It's
win the
crazy.
second map, you're going to go to Dorado, and it's like, well, good luck. You know.
well, I think one thing also is that a lot of the teams that did make it into the world's finals or have like a strong diva player, right? If you look at generally like a lot of these maps are diva-able, you know, like I think that's like really important part of that, because I mean, yeah, obviously Winston or Ball will be pretty good on like a map like Dorado, but that's a super diva-able map, right? Like as opposed to Jib, where it maybe it's good, but it's like it's gonna be a little harder because of the range, probably.
Yeah, that booster perk is really good. So that I agree. I think that gap between like Western tanks and all dive tanks has to be the closest with Diva, maybe Hazard more so than anything else. And Diva is probably the one that we're more likely to see.
Yeah,
that's a great transition to the patch notes.
Yeah,
great job by you two. Yeah,
nice, Ray.
That's perfect. I don't think we need to go through all of the patch notes here because that's just going to take hell of a long time. But there are quite a few influential specific patch notes here. I guess let's start out with the Diva one actually, because it was brought up. So Ray, you brought up the boosters dealing additional damage here. You know, a lot of Diva players in this tournament. Okay, okay.
And they buffed her. It was crazy. I mean, they also buffed Ram, so maybe it evens out. I'm not sure. It just depends if the map is flat enough, but yeah, she was already good, so they buffed her. It's just gonna be good. So I'm sure we'll see a ton of Diva in World's Finals too. That's my conclusion. unless everyone in their mom is like playing Brig, but even if, you know, you play Brig, there's still definitely ways you can get around it. So
do you reckon that Zarya is still reasonable as a solution on more flat maps still?
More flat maps, yeah. Like, but if you can like take like 18 angles on the Zarya, like it's so unplayable.
Yeah.
Like Kings, for example, is like an insane Diva map, especially if you're Diva on defense. So yeah, definitely you can play Zar. And like Zar and Ram would be like the solution, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure a lot of teams will want to play Diva, so I'm sure we'll see a lot of it.
Yeah, I think no, go ahead.
I think I'm a little bit more Ramatra and Zarya pilled going into this tournament actually, and I feel like Diva you can reasonably play around. You know, whether it is like, you know, Zarya, Symmetra, Brig, to some extent can like manage the Diva quite a bit easier. And I think there's way to like play around the Diva in ways that I think it's harder to deal with a Ramatra or Zarya on some of these maps. Bans are obviously going to be massively important here as well. Yeah. So, you know, we're likely to see a Diva ban come out. There's going to be, if you're a Zarya team and, you know, the enemy picks a Ram map, like the Ramatra ban is, or like, you will have to protect either one of those tanks, right? Or the ban will come out, right, to try to favor your preference there, because it's kind of interesting, right? Because Ramatra and Zarya, like they match up kind of evenly, but they cater to two very different kinds of tank players. Where Ramatra players are usually not good Zarya players, and the other way around. So it's going to be quite interesting. I know this Diva got nerfed, but you know, scrimbucks, stuff like that. I think I'm a little bit more Ramatra Zarya pilled going into this tournament actually. Still.
We're kind of in a unique spot where like Ram, Zarya, Diva even Malga to a lesser extent, have all been like relatively recently meta to more or less extent. So like one of the key things that you see with like these patches that happen right before tournaments is that people like just pick the first thing that looks like it even remotely works if it's comfortable and just run gung-ho with it. But legitimately right now, like these teams, most teams are probably familiar with like 2 or 3 different tank variants right now. And so, like you said, we might really come into like a pretty ban meta where like we might see radically different tank compositions. Like tank banning might be a really important thing that we see more now, because I don't think it's immediately obvious what's going to be doing well right now. And all the tanks are relatively familiar with variants. And so like, again, Ram, Zarya, D.Va, these things have been very good very recently. So who knows, right?
Yeah. And I guess kind of like tangentially, I think, you know, Echo getting a bit of a nerf, and then also Tracer getting a...
Echo
getting a buff.
Echo got buffed, yeah.
Echo getting a buff, and then Tracer getting a slight nerf as well. That's another, like, will free up Echo to maybe being played on a few of these maps, right? And that's going to be another difficult thing for a D.Va composition, right? Where maybe it's easier to play around on a different composition. So, yeah, D.Va, great in some situations, but I think it can be navigated throughout this tournament. Like I think someone like Siad, for example, obviously like fantastic D.Va player. I actually think that Qadsiah will be forced into more Ramatra matchups, and I think we even saw that in Saudi League, for example, because they played just 3 days ago, Twisted Minds Qadsiah. And I think Qadsiah, unlike before in the Twisted Minds Qadsiah matchup, Qadsiah are now forced to try to adapt a little bit more to Twisted Mind style and like trying to figure out how to deal with it. And that is Siad moving away from the D.Va a little bit has been part of that. I feel like it's still going to see play. Siad will still bring it out during the tournament, but I don't think D.Va is going to be hard meta by any means. So I think that's where I landed.
DPS are really interesting questions, right? Because like we've been basically Reaper Tracer dictating the meta for a long time. Reaper's perk is nerfed, and so he's kind of taken behind the woodshed. But Tracer's still like the defining character for so long, and seen some experimentation with Venture and so on. But I don't think Tracer is like unplayable by any means, but I think she's significantly weaker. Significantly weaker. And so I actually think if we're on the fence with tank, and then support's either going to be Curie, Lucio, Slop, or maybe Brig, Juno. I mean, who knows? Like Brigitte, Juno got a little bit back, so who knows? But regardless, I think the much more interesting question, and probably the thing that dictates the meta more, is DPS, right? Like what is filling that gap? Is it just going to be Venture? Is it going to be Echo, like you were saying? Because I think the Echo movement thing feels really freaking good. And so then what you do is you kind of work backwards from that. Okay, then what are those characters going to feel good into? Or what characters does an Echo, what tank feels worse to play into an Echo, right? Or a Venture, like what feels worse with Venture, right? Or better with Venture. And so
I actually think the flex DPS choice will most directly immediately affect the hit scan choice, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So like if Tracer is going to not be so good, then immediately Sim and Freya stocks are up, right? Yeah. So like those teams will benefit from that. And if you see more Sim and Freya, maybe you'll see, I don't know, other comps to counter that. You'll maybe see more D.Va to deal with the Freya, stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, Sim is a legit shout too. Like Sim is not dead. It's just because that TP perk, like Sim is still freaking Sim, right? And a lot of her competition's a little weaker, right? So,
well, as soon as D.Va's good, I'm immediately thinking Sim stocks are up. Sim D.Va will always be a good combo for those EMEA teams.
Who's the main good counter? As well. Hazard probably, and Hazard doesn't seem
like Wu Yang. People play like Wu Yang to deal with Sim. People play Ram can also deal with Sim decently. Like you can throw slow on the TP or Soj. But
TVNT like playing Hazard into
Ball.
They play that.
True. Yeah. Ball's a bit weaker as well. I mean, it's 50 armor as well, which is nice. He just gave it to Ram. That was nice of him. But you know, I agree with Ray. I think it's gonna be like a DPS dictated meta right now. Even if the DPS aren't necessarily the strongest characters, they're by far the most interesting like casualties, I guess, of the changes. I think.
Yeah. So we have a few clips here. I don't think Apply and Liar. I'm sorry to call you out on the podcast, but slight overreactions to the Tracer nerf. They're a little bit. It's no, it's the classic practice range clip. You know,
is it just like the season 9 reactions? The season 9 knee-jerk reactions, like, oh my god, look at the hitbox.
Spilo, you covered the Tracer.
Yeah.
The Tracer stuff. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I just don't like it very much. I think that like if you look, you needed to do something that was going to affect more her performance in professional GM champion play and not as much in low rank play, which I think the general consensus is her perk set, right? Both her minor perk with the health pack on full HP, and then being able to. I think the major perk is much better, but still probably overtuned. And so what this means at pro play is that she's just not very punishable post recall, which is a really, really important skill set to have in these long, complicated layer fights. And so now what they did is, I don't think Tracer's dead by any means, but if you look at win rates, she's horrific in rank play and most ranks, and then she's tolerable in higher ranks. But I think the goal had to have been to do approach that's more top down, something that is going to affect more of their punishability after recall, which I think had to be more perk focused. So she definitely needed a nerf, but I just don't agree with the thing that was nerfed.
I think that's a good take. I don't know. I just have all my flex DPS players that I've coached or coached in the past, and they're just like, I can't hit anything. I can't kill anything.
Yeah,
I do no damage.
people literally, the day it happened, it was like Armageddon. I had like 7 or 8 people in my DM sending random clips from medals.tv. Please, can you target? I cannot do anything. I'm like, bro, I don't know what you want me to do. I'll send the feedback, I guess, but like, it just tears. It was just crazy.
I think she'll always, like, you'll definitely not see Tracer, right? Like, she'll be there, but like, you'll definitely see more variety than Tracer slop every single map.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
maybe that's good.
Again, I got some scrim bugs like early on, and it seemed very open, which like I when I first witnessed that, I was just like, wow. It's an open flex DPS meta where like a lot of different heroes are being picked. Like we're not just watching Sojourn Tracer or whatever like anymore, right?
All the new gen flex DPS are all crying because they can only play Tracer.
Echo, what is this hero?
Is it only open
weird...
because it's new? Because the patch is like
it might be
fresh.
It might be experimental.
Yeah, some of it is for sure. But
people will be like, "Oh, Venture Sim slop. Oh my gosh, here we go again." Pro players, they just solve everything in 2 seconds and they stick with the same stuff over and over again.
Oh, it's grand finals meta. It's going to be Malga Reaper Venture.
Yeah. I remember, you guys remember the Dallas from a year and a half ago where everyone was like convinced that the meta was super varietous, and then the Koreans sniffed Malga and everyone was convinced Pharah was underpowered. And then they just, all of a sudden we have cardiac slop on DreamHack Dallas, and that's everyone's just playing Malga, so it happens.
Yeah. Didn't they play like Genji Venture or something crazy like that?
They did also.
Wait, was that the Echo one, or was it a different Malga?
The Echo was Stockholm.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was like the Pharah, cardiac, group up, typical.
It was the Shout Barrage meta. Is that what it was?
Yeah. It was funny. Isn't it weird though, Ray? If you think about it, like all the flex DPS players are crying because they can all play Tracer. I'm like, oh my gosh, we really have come a long way since like 2018, 2019. Not a freaking single Tracer player in the West. You know what I'm saying? Like, no offense, I think Dante was our best Western Tracer player, man. I was like, we had nobody. So.
It was like Dante, and then it was like, oh, then we have Lenny, who's like still like a fetus.
It was Dante and then King Michael.
Lenny.
That's your ranking right there.
Who?
It's Dante and then King Michael right there.
King Michael, bro. What a shout.
Jake. Yeah. Clockwork.
Don't put Jake in that list. What are you doing? This bro just snuck Jake in the list. You serious?
Look. He had his Junkrat
Put yourself in the list next time.
Yep, soon.
Soon? Oh, Soon is a great shout. Yeah, Soon is a great shout. Soon was actually like good at Tracer.
Yeah, Soon was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, he'll be there. Like, he's on Peps, right?
Yeah.
That's right. He will surely not choose that Tracer major perk again. Please, Soon. The wrong perk, dude. That's the wrong perk. Holy crap.
He's mentoring Dip now. New generation. All right. So we should also address the Ashe change as well. The increased range on the fall off damage as well, because I know I'm diamond, but goddamn, Ashe is good in ranked. I just love playing.
I think she's legitimately really good right now.
Yeah,
actually.
and we have seen some pro play, like collegiate tournament. There was lots of Ashe being played as well, right? So like even the hitscan players, they're open to stopping away from Sojourn and picking up more Ashe.
She's crazy in rank, but just push pull, man. It's too OP. Moving's too hard for her, man. It's why Cass, Freya, Soj like consistently are played. It's too hard. And also, I don't think this buff really helps with that too much. Like, it really makes her oppressive in certain situations, but pro players are just gonna use a wall, and like they're just not gonna peek you. So I I don't know. I would be surprised to see Ashe outside of like that. We were talking about like Midtown. Maybe they whip out
Kings Row, I think her range is excellent for Kings,
True,
and also
true.
to be able to reposition, because a lot of the hit scans, you know, if you have to drop, like, and you're not playing Soj or Freya, you're just fucked, right? So being able to reposition is great, but I do agree with you. Like, you can't flip the map on Ashe.
No.
Like, so that's,
I could see her like a hybrid, like pick her on a hybrid point, see what happens.
Exactly.
Same way that they were using Hanzo earlier, but yeah, we'll see. I also think Bob is like really freaking good in ranked, even in high ranks. But I think that like a lot of the tank metas that we have, like whether it's Malga, Ram, Diva, they're just so good at killing Bob so incredibly.
Yeah, it's like point pressure. It's like
it just he dies so fast. But yeah, I think she's really good. I would be surprised to see her too. She's not gonna be meta, no way. Maybe played here and there, but
I think Freya is the better pick for a lot of these teams.
Can move.
Like
you know, that's the thing. You know, move and shoot.
Move and shoot, yeah. And then, you know, if you're playing some of these Wu Yang compositions, I think it works really well. So I saw that in the Saudi League, just like referencing meta points here matches we've actually seen, and we saw a lot of Freya being played in Saudi League. So I think that's quite indicative of how, you know, some of the best hitscan players in the world are feeling about the patch just a few days in, right? So
can you imagine if we saw Ashe on like Flashpoint? Like how crazy would that be?
She would have to be so good.
You would know what's going on in the ring,
dude. There's no way. I would love to be wrong. That would be hilarious. That would be so much fun to watch.
No, it wouldn't be, because it's completely illogical. Like, what? Yeah, you know this.
Yeah, true.
Like,
I mean, it's a different hit scan, you know, so it's, you know, novelty. What AVRL is saying, right? It's fun.
I think the best we're gonna get is like an Ilios Lighthouse and maybe New Queen Street or something like that.
Yeah, like
and then she'll just be like a hybrid escort warrior or something. Like
that's a Geekay. I can smell that. That's a Geekay.
Well, I was just thinking
right now. You know,
while you guys were talking,
freaking lethal or somebody.
I was like, what hit scans that are going like hate Freya? And I was just like, lethal hates Freya, and then
Lip will play Smash.
Could be.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
But most of them are not opposed to selecting
Lip is going to jump on the soldier first.
The soldier on New Queen Street? Yeah, that's a classic.
Lip is that guy. He just likes to lock in the soldier a lot.
Yeah.
When no one else wants to.
I would love to see some Ashe, though. I love Ashe. Really fun, but I think Freya's the superior pick, yeah. And I still think Sojourn is, like, good.
No, she's good. Yeah, for sure.
They buffed her.
That's a better UCS, yeah.
Yeah, but her buff is also, like, her...
Orb.
Yeah, the power building shots. I forgot the name of it.
Like the power building disruptor shot orb.
I forgot the word for primary fire for a second.
The damage things she do.
The damage.
Oh, yeah, that.
I don't know. Cassidy got a buff, but like I don't think it's relevant for this event either.
No,
I don't. You know, we can complain about.
That's not a Cass buff. That's a Tracer nerf.
Another Tracer nerf.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
If someone brings out Cassidy, I'll be surprised too. Is there any other patch note we kind of missed here?
I wouldn't be that surprised. It was getting played. I agree. A decent amount I think on the last patch.
Okay. Cass is just he moves and shoots. It's the same thing as Sojourn, right? You just demoves.
You just see him like if people need, like a lot of CC, like if they're like ball double flex DPS or something, like you'll see Cass come out. But I think otherwise people will play like Ashe, Freya, Soj. Just depends on the map. Probably maybe double flex DPS will even be played some depending on the ban state.
I'm not saying we're gonna see Brigitte, but I think she probably received the biggest buff of the supports. And Curie did get a nerf.
Can you scroll to the brig buff? I can't remember.
It was half a second in armor pack.
So
it's like it's okay. She's also received the damage buff on her shield bash as well, which really helped her win rate. Helps up break points a lot. So like, I mean, brig buff, Curie nerf, Juno got a little bit of help as well. I mean, I don't know. I'm saying it's still pretty darn good chance, especially with the tanks that we have meta, that we're going to see Curie Lucio, but I do feel like there's some flexibility here for some different interpretation depending on the teams, maybe.
Maga Juno brig making its great return.
I don't think that, but I actually do think we'll see some brig, like really effective, healing flankers, can deal with diva compositions. I actually think that we'll see some brig play for sure. So, and not Mauga Juno brig. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking like actual honest brig play.
Honest brig play.
Yeah, honest brig play.
I mean, also I wrote this in the notes, but since Ball got nerfed, like Infected had one of his interviews with WTV, and he was talking about, Yeah, he's kind of nervous because his hero pool either was untouched or nerfed, while like the off tanks are getting lots of help. So, but he said they're pretty confident in their current scrim results. So we'll see what they end up playing. Maybe we'll see
very
some
confident. It's like the best boot camp ever. I'm like, okay, all right, Team Liquid, we'll see. Like you said, Kiriko also got a nerf. Ultimate cost increased by 8%, but I mean, Susu still very good. So don't think it's going to impact too much.
I don't know. I do think the Qadsiah is like really important for her role in the pro meta as well, though. So we'll see. It's hard to like measure that tangibly, but I do think it's a small thing that does matter a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think Tiny Weaver will make a difference, unfortunately, to the meta.
That's crazy. Didn't Geekay try to whip them out again? I was like, what are they doing, man? Like,
Midtown's in the pool, you never know.
It's 25 HP and he doesn't have his 10 healing per second anymore. Unplayable,
I remember when Life Weaver came out, and one of the key criticism was like, his hitbox is too large. Can't we reduce the hitbox? And everyone was like, oh no, that's too difficult. Like, you know, they can't. I'm sorry, they can't reduce hitbox size. That's just like way too much dev.
Like, you know, public statistics
thing, you know.
But it actually no. But wait, what you're not realizing is that it took them this long to do it. They started all the way back.
Yeah.
Everyone told me it was too hard to do. I'm like, what do you mean? Don't you just go into Photoshop and drag the corner down? Like, what are you talking about?
Photoshop.
Just make it smaller.
Yes.
Make it smaller.
Photoshop.
What are we? How is this difficult to do? How is this difficult? Just drag the rectangle smaller. That's how you make it smaller.
Are we just rage baiting devs at this point? Like,
I'm just saying, like, how is it hard to? You can create the model from scratch and make it whatever size you want to. How is it that you then can't just change the size? You can make tiny Overwatch. You made a whole tiny Overwatch mode where everyone was tiny. But you can't make Life Weaver smaller. It takes 2 years to make Life Weaver smaller.
No. AVRL, what happened with Bastion is they spent like 120, 140 hours perusing on Photoshop trying to find the resize tool. They finally found it, and now it's unlocked.
They made a tiny Bob. They made a tiny Bob in Stadium. That didn't seem to take too long.
That's how
they can't make Life Weaver smaller.
He found a way
to reduce
Bastion
Qadsiah found
size.
the button. Qadsiah found the button. That's it.
Got the job. It's like, wow, this guy is useful. Let's hire him.
Yeah.
Okay. I really want to do. I do think Sombra actually got a few interesting, and because considering how open the flex DPS pool is, I don't think Sombra's going to be perma-meta, but I do think we could see some Sombra.
That major perk is nuts.
Yeah.
If it was anything other than a major perk, I would say it's going to have a lot more impact. But there's a chance. There's a chance. You just need time to cook, basically.
I even like the minor, like 2-3 seconds on the minor perk.
Yeah.
I even like that. So like a little bit more quality of life for Sombra. So I think very niche use cases, but I do think we could see some Sombra considering the flex DPS pool.
Yeah. 300 health Sombra, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. Over health. Love to see it. I guess, you know, hazard nerves. Like, I don't think anything else is going to massively impact the meta, to be quite honest. So I'd rather just get into the team previews because we have quite a bit of work to get through here.
You guys didn't even bring up the fact that Sombra came up in a TV show.
What?
You guys aren't. See, you guys aren't.
We're not cultured. In
Twitter.
You didn't put it in the script.
No, we're not on Twitter.
I just
AVRL,
remember.
sorry.
It just came up right now. I'm trying to find it myself.
Okay, you work on that, and I'll move the
Let's
show
spend the next hour
here.
working on that.
Yeah, do that.
Here's some.
By the way, do not type Sombra into the search bar on Twitter. There's some weird things that are coming up for me. So
thank you,
just
AVRL.
warning.
Appreciate that warning. I was going to do that, so I appreciate you.
I guess my afternoon plans.
I was gonna say I'm actually gonna look for it now. Thank you.
I was going to do that right now. That's crazy. All right, let's get into. Speaking of crazy, let's get into the Raccoons, who. Let's kick it off with the Korean teams here, and I'm gonna be completely honest. I've done a lot of prep for Stockholm this past week, and I've actually saved the best for last here. So these are actually the teams I've spent the least time on, because on my flight on the way to Stockholm on Sunday, I've already downloaded it. It's Spilo's 6-hour review of the Korean Grand Finals between Falcons and Crazy Raccoon. So why don't you give me a bit of a prelude here, Spilo? Like, you know, warming me up for this incredible flight I'm going to experience to Stockholm here. What happened in that 6-hour review or whatever it was?
So I have this incredible skill set of being like completely dialed in what I'm watching in the moment, like completely, like the world could explode and I literally will respond to it, but I have no idea.
The angles!
But then as soon as it's done, it's gone. I don't remember a thing.
Oh, Okay.
It's gone.
Well, that's great.
So I will go. Crazy Raccoon 1. I do remember that. There was, I think the Falcons backline struggled some. I think support line was difficult. I think Crazy
Are you trying
Raccoon
to
backline
recap
played
the
better.
final?
Dude, I don't remember, man. I've got the
I can
freaking
tell you right now,
goldfish
here you go.
He was in
memory,
a
man.
fugue state. He can't even remember.
Look at this.
I literally can't remember a thing.
Johnny.
Oh yeah. So we saw like far. Oh, okay, I remember this. I remember because Merritt actually did really well in the Symmetra. I was impressed. Falcons did the whole sim comp really well. Heesing looked like he was completely lost in the sauce on far. I think he was on Echo here as well. It's just like they couldn't break it. But I think I wanted to give credit to Falcons for playing the sim stuff really well. Yeah.
What happened was
Avril
got
actually
to-
commented this, yeah.
what I was gonna say. You don't have to watch a 6-hour review. You can just watch my 3-hour review, aka the cast of the game.
Why would I listen to the casters?
on push, it was Esperanza. Crazy Raccoon went Ryan, and that turned the series around.
Oh yeah, the right.
It was genuinely Falcons looking like they won a 4-1
oh,
series.
Sorry, Avril. I
to the
listened to
point-
Spilo's
wait.
video on that. I didn't listen to you.
Wait. That was proper on Symmetra, right? Oh, he was horrible. He was horrible on Sim. Oh, he was so bad. He was like,
Avril left the goal. Oh, the rage bait was too much.
See, I told
the
you.
rage bait was too much.
yeah, proper
Oh.
was horrible on Sim. Like Jumbin
I
did fine,
trolled Avril.
but
Oh, he's
yeah.
back.
No, they don't have a response. They don't have a real response to the Ryan. They said when looked at a bunch of the interviews afterwards, Crazy Raccoon thought they were going to lose the series, and so they kind of just like made a gamble on the Ryan. Jimmy just made a call to go for the Ryan, and then Falcons afterwards they're like, yeah, we didn't know how to respond to that, so they kind of just like got caught out and were a bit flustered by it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take Junbin Ryan over Hanbin any day of the week.
Yeah, Hanbin ended up
MTV.
going Ryan at the end, and like last minute he went Ryan.
Yeah, they just didn't know how to play versus the Sim. Like it was really fun in Crazy Raccoon. They were doing like babies first Symmetra rotations. Ray, I don't know if you watched it, but their rotations were horrible. It was so slow and so clunky. They're just like, we have a teleporter. Look what we can do, you know. But Falcons,
I mean-
like they look completely lost. Like it was if Raccoon looked clunky, like Falcons look inebriated, man. Like
Falcons are supposed to know how to play Sim because they've literally won world champs on Sim. They're meant to be one of the best Sim
It's the
teams in the
Rhine.
world.
It confuses
It is
people.
the
They
Rhine.
haven't seen it in like 5
They
seasons.
can
Like,
they can play Sim. They've literally won, Stockholm World Finals. They literally won mid-season. They can be a better Sim team than Qadsiah and Twisted Minds, but then they just can't be the Rhine.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan just you shield and you put your sim behind it, and proper was like not angle maxing on sim, and it did not look good at all. I mean, by the time they even made the Ryan swap, they were down. Like they had AVRL ruled it basically at that point, So it was like they were so far behind.
I mean, Harmon's not winning on Ryan anyway, so it didn't even matter.
Yeah. The only off tank that can play Ryan, I think, is Hawk. That guy is pretty good.
Everything goes back to Reinhardt. It was like the event in the Champions Clash. Hey, Circuit Real, they busted out the Reinhardt as well in the end.
Yeah.
Falcons Grace Raccoon. It always comes back to Reinhardt. But yeah, actually, like going into Stockholm, like are there any kind of like weaknesses here? I think even like Max kind of like redeemed himself, and that was like a storyline that like Moon trusted Max.
He
In a
got brought in
matchup,
from map 7. He got brought in from map 7.
Yeah, exactly. So like I think there was a narrative that like Max, you wanted to force like Max maps. Do you still kind of feel the same way, Avril, or do you feel like in terms of like weaknesses for Crazy Raccoon, is that still a thing at all?
Well, they just buffed Eva. So there's that. I've always thought he was fine. He weirdly ended up having like a bad win rate recently, which is crazy because I felt like his win rate was improving quite a lot. So I don't know. Yeah, I think he's still a good player. He'll be especially good now that Ram is buffed and Diva's buffed.
Yeah, they had it on Overwatch TV. They made these previews and they had all the like map win rates. And I actually think that Crazy Raccoon they had a poor win rate on King's Row. Let's see, they won 4 out of 8 maps in stage 3, so 50% win rate on King's Row. And immediately, if I'm like one of the EMEA teams or something, I'm like, okay, well, Crazy Raccoon, one of the best teams in the world, they have a 50% win rate on that map. Like, there's probably something we should look into there. And I think for a lot of those off-tank players, like that could be a win condition for them. It's just like, we don't want to play Junbin. We want to play against Max. So I think that's an easy, like, if Crazy Raccoon has the high seed and they pick Ilios, King's Row could be an easy second map choice. I think going up against a team like Crazy Raccoon. And yes, you might have to deal with Dorado later on, but there is something to be sad about. Just thinking about win conditions to win these series. I think angling for Max, even though, Max Zarya is really good, like, that's probably the path for a lot of these teams when they're looking at a team like Crazy Raccoon, I think.
I think it'll just be about, like, if you want to go, like, a certain map direction, and then let's say you win that map, then they take you to, like, a Junbin map. They're just making sure that you're thinking ahead with your bans so that hopefully you can get the ban that you want. But if they're smart with it, then they'll just protect. If they go, like, let's say it goes 1-1 versus Crazy Raccoons, then they'll just protect for probably, like, the tank direction that they want or something like that.
A lot of it depends on, I think, that flex role as well. Like, because if you think about, like, compare Heesing versus Proper, like, where does Heesing's advantages come in? And Ray, you probably are more qualified to answer this question than I am, but my gut says anything that's more traditional projectile is probably going to be Heesing.
Yeah.
But if you whip out a Venture, or, I mean, is it really Heesing anymore? I mean, I don't even know. Like, it could really depend on what we see in that flex slot.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty accurate. Like, when I think of Heesang, I think of him as, like, he plays like the OG flex DPSs,
Right.
So, really well.
He plays more Fire and more Echo than Proper at the moment.
Yeah.
Especially more Fire. That's really about it.
Yeah, and that's interesting because, like, both Far and Echo are pretty good right now. I mean, I don't know if Far is something we've seen in a while, but Far and Echo.
He played it in this finals, pretty sure.
It's possible, right?
He played it on Ilios, right? We just watched it.
Yeah. But I'm like more on different maps. Is that something that's going to be an actual threat? Possibly, definitely. Tracer nerf.
It just depends on the draft completely. Like, if it's viable in the map. So maybe they'll just, like, get inspired. We'll have to see.
Yeah, true. Yeah, are we going to see that? Like, maybe just a global quiet? Are we going to see some last second adjustments from one team just does something crazy day one, and then all of a sudden the meta just shifts instantly? Because that was how Malga happened. I think that one Stockholm we were talking about, or not Stockholm, that one DreamHack Dallas we were talking about. I swear Malga was not meta until, like, day 2 or 3.
Yeah, no. Usually the meta, like, develops by, like, day 2 of the tournament or something like that. And I think not quite as accurate of an example, but the last Overwatch League playoffs as well, where Florida Mayhem won because they had someone playing Reinhardt and no one could really match them. There was, like, a rock, paper, scissors on, like, what tank to be played, but I think that was another, like, big event where the meta was kind of developing, like, throughout day 1, day 2. And it's a 5-day event on a relatively new patch. Like, the meta is going to develop, and most importantly, like, not even the meta, but also, like, teams figuring out, like, what their best way is to win maps. And win series, right? Because if they realize that, like, this composition, this map is not working for us, then they're gonna pivot.
Yeah, that's true.
And they'll hone in on those kind of things, right? So it's going to be interesting. I don't know if do you have anything else to say about Crazy Raccoon? I think obviously, top contender. They do want to play a lot of these dive maps, but they look better, I think, with Max in on.
Ball being nerfed is definitely a deal. I don't know if the ball nerf is enough to completely remove ball from the meta, but Crazy Raccoon is one of the biggest ball teams in the world, maybe the best ball team in the world, so that will impact there.
T1 and Crazy Raccoons and Liquid will be, like, the main ballers. I think they'll keep playing it probably.
Are Chorong and Shu still considered, like, their flexibility is their strength in comparison to some of the other Korean support players as well?
Flexibility, like, and I think they're mechanically better as well. I think they're both more flexible, mechanically better than Sheerfielder.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. It's like what we're going to see with support meta. I mean, obviously we talked about it's probably not going to be as viable here, but that's definitely something to keep an eye on.
See if Anna gets played at all. See if Winston's viable and if Anna gets played. That'll be a big one. Or Shu and Jumbin to play together.
I've seen some on.
I think with Dorado in the pool, I think it's definitely on the table.
Yeah, Kiriko Ban come out, and I think we've seen a little bit of, like, Wu Yang Ana. Stuff like that.
I feel like most teams won't really play Ana, but Crazy Raccoon will, just like their ball, will always find a way to force the Ana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's pivot to Team Falcons a little bit then. So obviously losing to Max in map 7 in that grand finals, which I could have been a surprise. I'm still waiting to watch my video on the flight to see. I was get broken
see what
down.
happened.
Yeah, to see what happened. But I mean, I will say I think Team Falcons are the favorite going into this tournament. I think that we talked about some of the weaknesses of Crazy Raccoons perhaps, and how they are a bit more reliant on mechanics. Like I think if we go into what I think is going to be more of like a Ramatra, Zarya kind of meta here, then Team Falcons, they should be really strong. But D.Va was one of their go-tos actually in stage 3 here, AVRL. Do you feel like they're on top of things as much as they were like during mid-season championship?
It's weird. I used to feel like someone's win rate was so poor that they should just not even play him at all. But now it's a bit 50-50 to the point where there are multiple times where I'm like, man, maybe they should just have the Winston here, like Jimbin instead of the D.Va. Falcons are, in my opinion, way more defined by merit in the sense that he is so limited. The Falcons are always forced some sort of hit scan situation. And at the start
That's true.
of
Whenever I
stage
see Merit Tracer and stuff,
Hitscan wasn't meta at all. Hitscan was in a rough place. We were playing like Tracer Genji. And slowly over time, Merit just forced his will upon everybody and just played more and more Hitscan, forced the Cass in there. And as much as like Cass is meant to be good into Ball, in Korea specifically, Ball just kind of shits on Cass. But Merit just stayed the course, kept playing it. And then ended up being a Soj meta in Korea. Yeah, the D.Va being buffed is going to probably put Hanbin in for a lot more maps than someone. And if we are going to see the Malga, I can't remember who started playing Malga. I feel like we saw somebody playing Malga in recent officials. Then Hanbin's obviously going to be in for that.
It was in the collegiate.
Yeah, I think Falcons will definitely copy collegiate. So yeah, we'll see Malga.
Well, that's where I saw it most recently. But yeah, they're playing like Malga, Juna Brig. Like Sinclair was playing this versus ISU. That's okay.
You're going to get the grand finals winners interview and probably be like, I mean, I just saw ISU play Malga and that's when I knew. That's when I knew we were going to win the finals.
The real Malga counter now has to be D.Va, no? Because like Orissa's just DOA. Like that fortified change is insanely bad, I think, for sustain. Like so
Force crits.
Yeah, the force crits. So it's like if you're gonna talk about like the tank that is gonna beat Malga, it's gonna be D.Va right now, or just an overtuned Zarya.
Yeah, I think like you play Kiri Lucio and it should just win, to be honest.
so then it really just comes down to like, is D.Va good enough? Is Zarya good enough? Yeah, on paper, we're thinking probably yes, but the usual, oh well, that's what keeps Malga in check. I don't think that character is relevant anymore. So it's worth keeping an eye on.
I don't think we'll see a lot of Malga. I don't think that's a good hero right now. Very limited use case on maybe a few like control points or something. But I don't
worry, just like in mid-season, Donak's only going to play Malga. For no reason, by the way. For no particular reason.
T1. Wow.
You also see a lot of like double flex support will probably also be somewhat prevalent. Like you'll see 100%. A lot of like Wu Yang Kiri will be relevant.
I think it's really strong, yeah.
So I think Wu Yang still looks fine, and he's good generally against like Zarya, so in Sim. So if those comps are viable, if you're not somebody who wants to play those comps, then
I thought Wu Yang fell off because of the nerfs on a previous patch. The point where Ultraviolet didn't even want to play anymore,
they were also playing Wu Yang Lucio, which that comp was never the strongest to begin with, and then
you can blame Admiral's hero pool for that one.
Yeah, I actually think that, I mean, maybe this is just insane, but I actually do feel like teams have started to like figure out the optimal Wu Yang play. Like you look at someone like Twisted Minds, for example, and like Funny Astro just like gets so much value out of that hero when it comes to like picking teams apart. That I think there's a lot of value to be found from Wu Yang. Like very high skill ceiling hero. I think it took some time for teams to like really use it properly against some of these brawl teams. And so I don't think you have to opt into the Lucio player if you don't want to. Like I think you can just play Lucio Kiri for most of the event, and obviously you'll be targeted. Like if you're GK, like Ultraviolet will get Wu Yang banned at some point throughout every single series, right? But I think it's a very viable support duo to like rely on going into the tournament. Just like this is going to be our preferred backline.
I think it just depends on the map, because like there are some maps where Lucio is just not amazing. Like especially like if you think about like the hybrid escort pool, like those are the ones where you'll really see like Wu Yang Wu and Kiri thrive, or if Lucio's banned, obviously, then you'll see it more often.
I will say his ult's probably a lot worse now with the Tracer nerf, unless we don't see, or at least we continue to see Tracer. But like you talk about like one of the reasons why Wu was really good, ironically, was like that combo with Tracer, right? It's like such a unbelievably problematic matchup for backlines without Suzu, right? Even with Suzu, right? But now if Tracer's not played as much, I mean, your support is just not good at this level. It's just not good.
Right.
So there's a question to be like maybe maybe the Tracer's less of a threat, so he can angle deeper or whatever else. But also that was a really important combo, I think, at this level.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how much value you get out of it, but I have seen like Wu Yang's get quite a bit of value out of using it as like a defensive tool to like save someone in like a pull scenario. Yeah. So like we get a lot of resources out of the enemy team, and we turn it with a perfectly timed Giga sorry bubble tunnel blast. I actually think there's some good value to be found there. So it's not completely dead, but yes, you're right about Tracer blinking in, for example, is really strong. All right, Team Falcons. I think Proper is the most important player in the tournament. No surprise. Incredibly impactful for his team. And in this flex DPS change up, I think Proper will have tremendous value what he brings to Team Falcons. So they're my favorite this tournament anyway.
Big Falcons play VARREL first, right? And then after this, if I'm reading this right,
Liquid.
Probably their most likely opponent then would be what, T1 or TM? Is that right?
Are they going Liquid?
Yeah, Liquid, and then
sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay, so they go Liquid.
Here's a real question: are they going to hide strats? Surely,
versus VARREL, 100%.
Has to.
100% they're hiding versus VARREL. Yeah.
We have no idea what they're going to pull out here at this point, so that would be interesting to see. I think more so than any of those first day matches. I think by far, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You're about to see Merit on tank. That's how far they're going to hide strats. With Chio and Hitscan.
Okay. AVRL T1. I feel like I don't even know. Like T1 kind of just pains me a little bit. They have so much potential. They just never seem to be able to, get across the finish line. Quite disappointing end to stage 3, I want to say. Maybe not the best meta for a player like Donghack, going into this tournament. Jasmine and seeing some plays, stuff like that. But I don't know. I have a hard time feeling good about T1 going into this tournament. They should be a strong team, but they can't be a favorite.
There's no such thing as a bad meta for Donghack. That guy is supposed to have the widest hero pool of all tank players.
Just playing Doomfist does not make your hero pool wide.
He shouldn't be. But that's the thing is his hero pool is so wide that he's like, I'm gonna play niche characters now. Let me just throw in characters I shouldn't be playing. As he roll swaps to Tracer again. Yeah, I don't know. He wasn't the problem. I don't know. This team to me is the new Zeta division. They are constantly like at the precipice of getting to the end and winning something and like kind of overcoming a certain barrier, and then they don't. And Zeta's fallen off so hard now. Somebody had to replace him. It's currently T1. Proud was also fallen off as well. This guy was so unbelievably good, and recently I just haven't seen that magic. Haven't seen that spark. Talked about Freya plays, by the way. He is probably the predominant Freya player. He's probably of all the players at the World Finals, maybe in the entire world, he wants to play Freya more than any other player ever wants to play Freya. So if Freya's even a tiny bit good, he gets a whiff of that, he's locking Freya straight away. Other than that, he needs Soj. I don't think he really cares about Ashe. I I haven't seen Ashe in so long. I'm like struggling to remember who's good at Ashe anymore.
Kisu, remember?
Kisu is amazing. Fusion 2021.
Toronto Defiant 2022.
You had to pull that out of the archives. Oh my god.
The Jotes. Nah, man, that guy actually had some impact with that character.
Famously, Proper was better at Ashe than Merit was in Contenders when they faced off.
Don't say that.
Merit is unironically insane at Ashe as well. So if the one,
I mean, this was years ago. I don't think that's true anymore. If they did an Ashe thing now, but this like way back in the day in the runaway or two. Anyway, point being, back to T1. Yeah, I think, and we talked about double flex support as well. T1 are definitely advocates of double flex support. So there are some strengths there. Nerfing Ball, buffing Diva is like not amazing for Donghack, given that he's still going to be more comfortable in the main tanks. But
we can play Ram, so it's all right.
We might just all default to Ram everywhere again, possibly. That could be a thing. But just like Jimin, I'm sure Donghack will just force the ball anyway.
It just depends on the map, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, there's no tons of great ball maps. I mean, maybe, if you want to bring it on like Suravasa, Ilios, stuff like that. But
There
like
at least 1 or 2 in each
just a
category.
few. Yeah.
So it's not that bad.
I feel like the nerf is too much. I don't think
Yeah.
ball. That's why I don't feel good about T1. But like, it's like, if they can't play a lot of the Winston ball stuff, I do think they take a little bit hit. Yes, Donga can force the ram, but like, I actually think I'd take a couple of the EMEA teams over T1 in those kind of compositions. How do you feel about the flex play from T1? If that's going to be a bit of a change up. How do we feel about Zest Viper?
Viper's not getting playtime. Zest is currently the guy, but Tracer being nerfed does impact him. Yeah,
I will bring up all the players. Spint.
He's going to have to.
Spint's
Spint's probably not going to play. Spint's fallen off the radar in terms of playtime. They're not playing him anymore.
I think Spint and Stalker hanging out somewhere. That's the word in the street.
Zest is and Viper, the three of them are hanging out. Zest is just going to play the whole time, but he's going to have to figure out where the flex DPS meta actually lands, like everyone else. So I don't know where it lands right now. So it'd be interesting.
There's a Tracer ban here with this map, and both.
Oh,
teams
by
are
the
playing
way,
Summer.
I don't think T1 play much Symmetra. So if we are like, if flex DPS move Symmetra, I think T1 could be in trouble. They're not known to be much of a Symmetra team.
Yeah, they're one of the more interesting teams. Like, I always look forward to seeing what T1 play, but they haven't quite lived up to the potential yet. So I'm just waiting for that day to come. So maybe this tournament will be it. Maybe this will be a tournament where T1 pops off. A great sight to see. I don't have anything more to say about T1.
Yeah.
Unless you guys
Let's
do.
go to NA. Let's go to
NA. Wow, you're so excited. Get into it, Ray.
Let's talk about Liquid.
Hell yeah. I love the enthusiasm.
I love Liquid.
Let's go.
Infected
Yeah.
says they're going to beat Falcons. Or, sorry, I'm putting word in his mouth. He says they could beat Falcons.
They could beat Falcons, yeah.
They could. They're beatable.
Lots of confidence.
Yeah.
No,
Like
I mean,
a Doctor Strange meme, of like how many alternate timelines can you beat Falcons? And in fact, it's like, we can do it, guys.
yeah, I mean, obviously they're gonna have some of the same issues as T1, just because they have been playing so much ball. But I think they also have some maybe more flexibility, not more flexibility, but they do have flexibility in their DPS line. I think that's the thing that's gonna like really shine for them, is that they can play the double flex, they can play hit scan, like Zera can play things aside from Tracer, so that's great. So I'm sure that will help them. But yeah, not having the ball I'm sure will be difficult. Maybe they'll also just stick to Ram the whole time. I heard Infected was playing Diva and ranked, so maybe we'll see that, but I'm not
Great.
sure. I don't think so.
One step at a time. Gotta learn somehow.
True.
Yeah, I think I always put quite a bit of respect on Liquid, because I think they always like come out and they play really good compositions that make sense for their team. And I think like this is a great example here of just like when we had Qadsiah on and we broke down that grand finals, just like I think there's a lot of like really good thought that goes into it. And so I feel going into this tournament, if Infected's in an interview saying like this has been a really good boot camp for us, we've been improving a lot, like that's a really good sign, because I think they'll come
Well, to
out.
be fair, like what is he gonna say? He's gonna be like, yeah, we're just getting shit on every day.
Yo,
Like,
Sugar Free did not share the same sentiment. Sugar Free did not say that.
I didn't watch that one yet. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel good about Team Liquid. We'll see how much Tracer that Zero can play. OWCS can flex around a little bit here. RuPaul Vega, like really strong backline if you want to play double flex, stuff like that, right?
I think the only thing is the question mark of like, will they have the game day nerves that they've been like sort of stereotyped to have, like the anti-clutch factor almost. But I was watching another the podcast that shall not be named, I guess, and they had the Hawk interview. They were discussing about Liquid, like maybe them having this like first place win for OWCS, like will be the thing that like makes them feel like more confident in their ability to do it, So
I don't like how you treated uncoachable like they're Voldemort or something on this podcast.
Oh, so true. Other podcast.
The British slander.
No, but I lost my train of thought immediately. What were we talking about?
I was saying
Team
that
Liquid can win now.
Oh yeah,
The choke
yeah,
factor.
yeah. I was
the choking factor.
yeah, because I think you could actually say something about how the way they went out in the mid-season was actually a bit of like disappointment too. That like they lost 3-0 to T1 in the very first round, right?
Yeah.
And it's one thing to overcome like winning map 5s online, but playing on LAN on stage is like a whole different vibe shift, right? And so you kind of like have to do it on LAN as well. And I actually think Korea has a bit of a boon there, and I always say that like they had so many like matches on stage that whereas NA EMEA, like they're just in their fucking bedrooms, you know, playing regular season for most of the time. So you don't really get used to playing on stage as much. I don't know, Spilo, Mr. Coachman, am I wrong here? Am I reading into things too much?
I mean, it matters. I mean, the TLDRs, the more you do thing, better you get at thing. So land diff is a big deal. You know, it's like, it's really hard to get repetitions on that until it really matters. And then it feels too late because the stakes are so freaking high. So I do think like choking can be overstated at points in time, because I think a lot of teams deal with the nerves, right? And it's just kind of, but I think that like, the way that I think Chris says it is like a really, really good way of describing it, where like certain dive comps can be just harder to play on land, because whether you're affected by nerves or not, like in terms of
It's just
like, losing
loud.
confidence, there's a lot of things going on. So you're
Yeah.
going to fall back to like what you're comfortable with, right? And so that it kind of comes down to the question of like, is the meta going to be comfortable? Because if the meta is not comfortable, it doesn't matter how good your scrim bucks are when you come out on the stage, right? Because it's going to be really hard to replicate those new concepts that you're doing so well doing, right? You know, and there's going to be certain players and certain systems that do better under that pressure, and certain ones that don't. But it's really kind of hard to tell from an outsider perspective. My question for this one would be like, I know we've talked a lot about like the DPS position right now. I'm unfamiliar with Liquid's performance under like non-tracer brawl comps, but like, do they have the hero pool for that? Like, do they have the Venture? Do they have the Echo? It's hard to say Echo is a brawl hero, but do they have the heroes that can actually
I would say
function
that
in
they
these
do. I
Malga,
mean,
Ram, Diva?
I know
Sem, can they
I
play
know
Sem?
Tree
Like,
Tree has a really good echo, actually. So
okay.
they could.
I guess like Sem Venture would be the ones now that I'm kind of talking.
Yeah, I think
myself through.
Sim. I'm not totally sure is unlocked. I've not seen them play that comp.
It's just total conjecture,
ever.
but it's like the most obvious hole between those. Because if we're
Yeah.
seeing Diva, it's like, well, if it isn't Tracer, Cass, you know, like what is it gonna be? You know.
Yeah.
They could play like a double spam, or maybe even bust out a May, depending on the map, I guess.
Yeah.
Situation.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, could be.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be one of the sim teams. I will say about Sierra, like primarily known for being like a fantastic Tracer Genji player, but I think it's also like another one of those things where like hasn't really had the chance to show off the other stuff,
Yeah.
and it's also so young and talented that I think that, you know, it's just a matter of time before a Zero in an official shows up, you know, playing a really good Echo or, you know, whatever it is, right? So
Sure.
I still think they're flexible enough in that regard, and I think, you know, allegedly the bootcamp is really good. I think they're gonna have a good performance. Just don't know how that will stack up against some of the other favorites in the tournament when we get to the brackets later. Okay, you guys want to shift gears to SSG then, I suppose?
Sure.
So, I guess I don't. How do we start this one? Is it too rude to say a little bit more limited than Liquid here? I'm a little bit worried if like SSG were one of those teams who can have like a great performance in NA, and then once you go, you know, international, and you have to play Korean teams and you have to play EMEA teams who I think EMEA is really strong. It's like, will SSG kind of like struggle to get away with Hawk playing a lot of Diva and Zarya on a global stage? Peps, it's a nice
They
first
should be able
match.
to win that one.
Yeah.
I would hope. I think if they can't beat
Confidence
Peps, I
booster.
think it's not a good sign. Especially with Hazard nerfed. So hopefully I should be able to beat them. And then after Peps, where would they go? Raccoons,
Raccoon.
and then Liquid or Falcons.
Uh,
Oh no, sorry. If they lose, they play Liquid or Falcons.
will they?
If they lost versus Peps, they would go. So that would be a storyline. If they lose versus Peps, they would go probably versus Liquid.
Yeah. And if they lost to Crazy Raccoon, they would play VARREL. So
That's not too bad.
not too bad there. I will say I'm a little bit worried though. Like Chronic, fantastic Freya. That would be, fantastic for SSG if they can play lean a lot on Chronic popping off on Freya, because Freya is Chronic's best hero. Sugar Free always like carries for this team, but it's primarily been on the Tracer. So I'm curious to see how Sugar Free adapts and it picks up other heroes if need be here.
There's a secret sim team as well, because Sugar Free also brings out the sim.
Yeah,
he's not allowed on that character. From all accounts, he's not allowed on that character.
But he's being coached Symmetra. Yeah, they're trying.
But he said before that he's banned off that character, but then they put him on it versus Sakura, and then they lost. So it's like they want Sugar Free to be on like a character he can like 1v9 on, and Sim is like not that for him, at least for right now. Maybe the boot camp he'll like grind it out.
That severely reduces their comp options for like what they can really do as a team.
No Genji, no Tracer, I mean, I don't even know.
They'll probably play a lot of Venture. I could see. I think he could be good at Venture.
You just play Venture just in general though. Like Venture doesn't feel like a catch-all scenario, like a Tracer. You can just play Tracer anywhere. Venture seems very specialized, and like this is a situation where you can play Venture. This is the thing. Like you can't just shove landing on Venture and be like, "Yep, we solved it, guys."
New Junk City, let's go. Lock in.
I think the issue is that you have to find something that not only complements Hawk's hero pool, because like they're not going to be playing like ball comps, right?
What about Reaper? We saw
Reaper. I know
Reaper.
Chronic will probably play Reaper if they do play it.
Oh, how likely are we going to get back into a Reaper meta? What was the Reaper nerf? I remember.
It was on his fast TP.
Yeah.
Oh right, is it not as fast now? I'm trying to find the note.
They made a major perk. So it takes you longer to become OP.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's that. I mean, it does take a little bit of long, but he's still good though, right? Surely.
Surely.
I think Reaper's prevalence is like correlated to how much people are playing like Winston. So and like other main tanks. Like
I think Reaper was pretty attractive just because a lot of Zarya's competition just wasn't quite as strong. So it didn't make you weren't as scared of like, oh, they're just gonna go Ram or they're just gonna go Diva. It's like SSG's gonna have to lean into that because they're gonna be a Diva Zarya team. Like what other types of comps they're gonna play? It's gonna be Diva or Zarya, right? So you can only play Diva Zarya variations and stuff. And if the Sim's off the table, that's gonna remove a lot. Yeah.
I also think they're fairly limited in the backline. Yeah.
Limited where's Johnny? Limited what?
In their backline. Like I just think, like either they're a good Lucio
Kiri. Same shirt.
There we go, same shirt. Lucio Kiri or Juno Brig. And I just think that's a little bit limited going into this tournament, I feel like. So Lip, should get targeted.
He's pulled out the Wu Yang before. Maybe you'll play Wu Yang. But yeah, he's a Lucio guy, I think.
Do you want to do a live Wu Yang rankings on the episode?
No, I'm not interested in that. I'm just saying he can collect it.
I feel like we started to see a lot less Wu Yang at the end of stage 3.
Yeah, but we did see it in the grand finals for both EMEA and NA. People play Wu Yang. So I'm just saying, I think it's possible that people play it. I'm not saying it's going to be every map like it was at the beginning of the stage where it was like everyone just played Wu Yang all the time. Yeah. I think the interesting part for SSG will be if they're able to stack up in the off-tank matchup though, right? Like obviously the sim question is there, but we don't know how much people are actually playing sim. I'm assuming it's a decent amount, but we don't know. But like, can Hawk and the gang, I guess, like win win the Zarya matchup is what I'm trying to say, like the Zarya Diva matchup, because a lot of the, like I said, a lot of the teams and a lot of the hero pool, like the map pool, it's like my camera's so blurry, sorry. Like a lot of it is like very Diva-able and Zarya-able, right? So like they're gonna be in the mirror matchup quite a bit. So I think it'll just be about how they can hang with that. Cause like if they go, what was the time we drew out? It was Peps and then probably VARREL, and then what was the last one?
If they beat VARREL in lower bracket after beating Peps, they'll play either Weibo or CC, I'm guessing. I'm forward predicting a lot here.
Yeah.
But I could see them playing one of the Chinese teams.
Yeah, so maybe one of the Chinese teams. So then that would be like the first time that they would have to probably go up against like a dive team, right?
Well, Yes. Weibo Gaming, they like dive, but CC they like off tank stuff too. So
Okay, so if CC
but actually,
win
what's
that somehow, then
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk about the Chinese teams when we get there. They're really interesting.
Yes, I think it'll be really determinant on like if they can win the off tank matchup, and then the long placement will be if they can like win through ban stages versus like main tank teams. Like,
It's just liquid all over again, right? It just feels like
Exactly,
some very
yeah.
egregious strengths, but some egregious weaknesses that may just be completely irrelevant or may just be the complete end of their entire chances, right? But like you said, there are some chances. I think bans are the great equalizers, so that like it definitely helps teams like this have a chance, because you know, one bad ban, which we know these Korean teams can do, like, and then you can kind of all of a sudden squeeze on a map win that you shouldn't have gotten, and then you never know. So
yeah. All right, then let's maybe go to Geekay. We can finish off NA, because this is the also the team that plays weird stuff.
yeah.
So
I swear all three NA teams are just like, yeah, this team has like major strengths and also major weaknesses. Let's see what happens.
yeah, it's
God.
it's just a big question mark, I guess.
Yeah.
It really just depends on the ban, the ban or the strategy, I guess.
I feel like Team Liquid was the most well-rounded team
yeah, I
out of
agree
that,
with
so I don't think they
Yeah.
have that many weaknesses in comparison. But yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll start off with this strength and weakness thing. I'll say this: Ultraviolet. I'd be happy to say that I think Ultraviolet is a top 3 Wu-Jang in the tournament, and I would even consider him like arguably the best Wu-Jang in the tournament. Like, I think Ultraviolet is fucking amazing on that hero. He gets so much value out of the
Wu-Yang
orb.
was unnerved and hard meta. That would be so good for him.
I think it's,
Okay, you can have whatever meta you predict going into the tournament. I'm predicting a lot of Wu-Yang. I'm committed. So I actually think that's a big
spicy.
boon for GK.
But Johnny, what does Admiral play alongside Ultraviolet's Wu-Yang?
I think that's the problem. Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
I mean, he played Kiriko, that one Rialto, like a month ago, right?
He played
So-
Zenyatta and Havana at one point too, no? I
Yeah.
remember a while
What?
back.
What
Yeah,
the fuck
he
did I missed
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. He one
Um,
clipped whoever, I think Vega or something. I don't remember. Yeah, it was good.
a Zen one clip.
Yeah. The Zen 5 one clip.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't have answers for you. I'm sorry.
I think it just will be about what direction they choose to go, because I don't think the Wucio comp was the best direction. Maybe that's a hot take. I'm not a big fan of that comp, so and then it got gutted. So I don't know if they'll be able to play it. They were struggling a bit, like I think just from practice wise, like they were literally spamming for 6 weeks. They were spamming that Wu Yang Lucio comp, and then they got like a very small amount of Kirilu or whatever they were playing practice.
I know.
I think they played zero Wu-Yang in their final game.
It's the Malga Moira Lucio comp that they are running. That's the solution, guys. It's finally time to pull
stage
the
2?
Moira Lucio.
Lucio.
Surely that's the play.
Just play for fast coal and you'll win first fight.
Guys, just go faster, and they did it. I love that so much from them.
The actual 9-head play is the Falcons purely through Scrimbucks convinces everybody that it's Amalga meta, and then last minute just switches up.
And goes
And
like
you see the
Diva
officials, and they play zero Amalga. Everyone's like, "What? But we're an Amalga meta."
I swear though, like if you're in that scrim environment though, you're not like, I'm not to say people are not taking scrim seriously, but there's always going to be a bit of like keeping your cards like a little close to your chest, you know?
Every time the Koreans scrim non-Koreans, they just play random stuff just to throw everyone off, and then the Koreans scrim each other, they're playing the real meta.
Yeah.
Gatekeeping the meta until the day of the games.
I think for right now as well, like so there's a lot of rules that are like, we were discussing this obviously at length earlier, but like there's not an obvious answer here either. So even if you were to like underperform, I think a lot of these teams, if their scrims don't go super well, they might still play it anyway. They might just give it a shot. I mean, wasn't it SSG that was like not doing so well with scrims and almost pulls it out versus Liquid basically playing the same crap they were getting 0-7 on in scrims, you know? So it's like, I mean, I feel like some of these teams we're more likely to see a little bit more confidence in their strengths. So we might see some variety. That's I mean, certainly Geekay is gonna be one of those teams, right?
I don't think they were doing poorly in scrims. They said they didn't get scrims. There was that 1 week they were like really rough because they didn't get the scrim basically at all because people kept canceling on them. So it wasn't bad scrims, they just didn't get scrims.
Yeah. It's okay. We beat them in the scrims the next week too. So Like,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah, but that's because another person must have canceled them. Surely, yeah. That'd
Oh
be it.
yeah. It's okay.
It's Hawk tilt swapping hog midway through map 4 every time. It'll get you. No wonder everyone blacklists them.
But that's why they'll be really good in first to 2 because they won't be able to tilt. The series is not long enough for them to tilt.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah,
So I don't know about Geekay. I mean, they have the same issues. They have like a hit scan only guy. They have a limited main support.
What do you mean hit scan only guy? He plays Sombra. He's an elite level Sombra.
Are you chronic?
He's the
Or are you talking? Yeah, so I think it'll just be about like, and the problem is also I think Lethal really doesn't want to play Freya, so that'll be kind of the big problem for them. I think.
Yeah.
So.
I really think it's an unfortunate event for GK because I also think Qadsiah is like is having an unfortunate hero pool. Like really rate Qadsiah, great player.
Ram is back. It's
But that would be it. Whereas I'm saying like
yeah, you're right.
Like what are like the top 3 heroes for Qadsiah? I don't know. Okay, Ram should probably be in there. But like the best heroes for Qadsiah are probably
Ram
like
has Winston.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if we're seeing less Winston and Has, and we're seeing what I predict less ball, then we're kind of playing Ram. And so
what's infected? What's an infected Qadsiah hero pool look like comparatively?
To me, Infected and Qadsiah have very overlapping hero pools, and then Infected just plays more. Like he plays Sigma, he plays more off tanks, and that's really it.
Okay.
Because to me, Qadsiah's always had one of the better hero pools, but there's like kind of seasons to it where, like, as I've said before, particularly on broadcast, he used to play a bunch of ball, then he refused to play ball for a while, and then he brought the ball back this last stage, for example. He'll go through these like waves where like he'll have an old hero that is in the back pocket for a long ass time ago that he doesn't play anymore, that he maybe loses a bit of confidence on. So I actually think his hero pool is not bad at all.
Yeah, his hero pool's not bad. I'd say like both of them are just main tank guys, right?
Yeah.
And then I would say like the biggest differences is like Infected is not a great Has player, or just historically hasn't been a strong Has player, and Qadsiah has. And then I think Infected has probably the edge up on the ball, and then there it's just kind of like Sigma, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not gonna compare with recent performances. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going that far.
Just a question about that.
Even though Infected is a great Orisa. And then I'll say for GK as well. I really rate Maimon. Like I think
he's so good.
if we're going to see a little bit less Tracer, I really rate Maimon's flexibility.
He can play Sim. So
yeah, can play Sim.
His venture is really good.
Genji, Echo, like I think Maimon is one of those actual flex DPS players that can pull out most flex heroes and put up a really good performance. So
proper European. We love that.
You're a proper European.
Hidden
No, that's Kevster.
No, Kevster's honorary American because he just plays Tracer, Genji, and stuff. So.
Okay.
I'm getting rage baited by Spilo on my Plat Chat.
I thought Kevster was Korean. That's what I heard.
Oh yeah,
he's Korean on Tracer.
That's true. That's true.
I was pleading to Moon, just like, please, can we pick up Kevster? You never know.
Yeah.
Never know what's gonna happen. Okay, we're feeling satisfied about North America. We can move on to EMEA then. So I've kind of combined.
I was gonna say you lumped them together. They would hate this.
Why do you hate this? I lumped
No,
Twisted
they
Minds
would hate this. They would be so insulted to see this. Twisted Mind / Qadsiah.
I mean, I actually honestly thought of bunching together Falcons, Crazy Raccoon too, because like we just see them play each other so much, and they're obviously like the top 2 teams, and I feel like Twisted Minds / Qadsiah is just EMEA version of that rivalry. So again, I've referenced the footage. They played this past weekend in the Saudi League Grand Finals, showing off the new meta a little bit there. Twisted Minds, they have the edge recently. I think this poke version, if you want to call it, playing the Wu Yang, playing Freya, stuff like that. It's just kind of like broken Qadsiah's mental a little bit, and Qadsiah just like haven't figured out how to beat Twisted Minds in this new meta. But I still rate both teams. I still think this Symmetra strat is going to be very useful against on a global stage. Like you can pull it out against some of the Korean teams, North American teams, and I think you have a guaranteed like leg up for a couple of map wins there, because it's really hard to play around. And obviously, like Twisted Minds, they've had so much practice against Qadsiah that they feel really good in something like a Freya, Wu Yang, Kiri kind of composition, right? But not all teams have that. Like it's kind of like a reverse scrim bubble where the EMEA scrim bubble is so Symmetra pilled that the Korean and NA teams, I don't think they have the same level of practice against that. So
Definitely not. When we did the last interview versus TM, they said that they had like solved Qadsiah's sim playstyle, so we'll see if it's been unsolved or whatever. We'll see.
Yeah,
because they could go against each other again. Like if you follow the bracket through, like they could meet each other in like I think top 4 or top 6 or something. So let's see.
not the most useful analysis for me either, but I genuinely just watch these two teams play, and I think they're so fucking good at the game. Like the way they control space, the rotations, their how they play the pre-fight going into some of these fights, and like I think they just like are extremely good. This morning actually, I was first watching some OWCS China VODs. It's like, oh, this is interesting stuff. Weibo Gaming as Team CC. This is interesting. This is some good Overwatch right here. And then I put on Qadsiah versus Twisted Minds, and it was like a fucking took LSD or something, and I just like, holy shit, like this is just insane levels of Overwatch. Like it was so noticeably better. Yeah. What?
I'm thinking with portals, so I have to think a little bit more.
Yeah.
The angles.
Yeah. I think they're extremely good, and I think they don't have a lot of weaknesses. I think the meta like really suits them. Obviously, like I don't think they're gonna win Ilios or even be competitive on some of these dive maps as much. I think they're gonna be quite exposed when it comes to like diva bans and stuff like that. But I don't think they need that to be really competitive this tournament. So I really rate them, both of these.
And
teams.
Quartz is such a great equalizer, like he can
So
in an unfavorable situation, unfavorable map. You're just kind of dice rolling. Sometimes he's just going to decide that he wants to win that map, and then that's just going to happen. And I don't think you can say that about too many of the NA teams. As good as those guys are, like Quartz sometimes legitimately just breaks the game.
On Freya, nonetheless, which is like mind-boggling. It's like one thing to do it on Freya, or sorry, on like Soj or something like that.
Yeah.
But to just take over the game on Freya is like.
Yeah. And I know this has been talked about at length as well, but UB legitimately also has an insane impact in this team. So if there's any reason that they can put UB in and legitimately it's a good composition, they have they play with a swagger, for lack of a better term, which kind of fits, right? And it's just like they don't over respect these Korean teams so much. So there's just a chance that like if they get Quartz on a hot day and UB on a good sim map and they get these rotations and they get these plans going, I mean, anything can happen to that team. I mean, it could also just crouch down and burn, but there's always a chance with UB Quartz, I feel like.
And I love Psycho. I think Psycho's
very flexible, very flexible.
You get both the player and the coach Psycho.
Yeah. Big difference between Alcad and TM for me is just Kelix, I think, is like the Quartz and Kelix, right? Like, is Quartz going to serve admin, and is Alcad going to be able to play their old man Lucio gameplay? Not even he's a young guy still, but like he's just freaking really good at that old man marking angles, controlling space, layering really well every time. And if they can play that style, Alcad, like they're really good too. So it's like you really don't know what's going to happen. So.
All right. Yeah. Really rate both of those teams. Team Peps then.
I'm rooting for them.
Really rate this team.
Best of luck to those guys. Truly. Hope you can put on a good performance for the fans.
I mean, they had good spirits about it. They did some of their interviews this week. They seemed in good spirits. Like they're like, yeah, we're just happy to be here. Can't wait to meet the fans. Like our goal is to win a game. Like that'd be great.
They played good versus VP and Gen G too. Like looking at those maps, I honestly, it's really easy to like crap on VP because I think Fixa was fixing the matches, and I think like generally Gen G just obviously they fumbled the bag too, right? Like let's not cut, but I don't think Gen G like the whole like ping thing with Zodiel. It's like yeah, but like they're playing pretty good Overwatch, like legit. It wasn't trash. Like it wasn't handed them a silver platter. Like I think that was legitimately some of the best Overwatch we've seen from this entire stage, right? That coincidentally lined up with two not so great performances, and like, hey, that's kind of how the cookie crumbles, right? So, I'd be surprised if they won a map, but I don't think it's like completely like they could absolutely win a map. I completely could do it easily. I mean, they could even win a match if things get really lucky, depending on their matchup. It's possible, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. I actually think I actually like I don't obviously like rate this team highly, like going into the tournament. I think they had a great performance against like Symmetra teams like Genji. This asterisk that Exodial was having internet issues, whatever.
Yeah.
But like they did rightfully qualify. I think that was still a good performance. Just we reviewed their gameplay, with Willis and
I think they played really well versus
yeah, they
Vision.
did play really good. Yeah,
Esperanza was good. A good map for them. I think.
Yeah,
That's a
Esperanza
good
was
map.
really good. But like, then you consider like, okay, well, Dip, you had a bit of a tracer nerf. I think they're more comfortable almost playing against some of these Symmetra styles and like setting up the kill box and what we talked about, Ray, and like how they take some of those fights. But like, okay, now you're going up against SSG in the first round. Hawk is like a fantastic like Zarya diva player. It's like I actually think this matchup doesn't favor them as well as it would against a team like Vision or Genji for that matter. And so I think it's going to be a really interesting matchup, but I don't feel as good about them.
Yeah, I mean they're like two of their like I guess staple characters got nerfed. 3 if you count Kiri, right? So it's like they play Tracer,
Sure.
they play Hazard. Kiri got nerfed. They were like constantly playing this like Kiri Lu Tracer stuff. So it will be an uphill battle for them. Dip said in his interview that they found a style that works for them, so I'm hopeful. Like I'm always down to like root for an underdog. Like always like a nice storyline. But yeah, I think it'll be tough for them, but I'm very happy to see them here. So hopefully they'll put on a good performance and they won't get like too down in the dumps if things are difficult. And if things go well, then that's all the better, So
Dip's got the angles buff though. I coached him like a year and a half ago as well. So obviously
you made
he's
Dip?
unbeatable.
You made him.
He's,
that's crazy.
He's unbeatable. Yeah, single-handedly.
Yeah. I mean, I just like these guys. They're humble.
Really
like
nice.
the teamwork
French.
we talked about. The
French.
They're Swedish.
Can't all be perfect, it's okay.
I think it was Ray. You heard from someone that Dip was like described as a tracer who just like does his job.
Yeah, that's literally every European that I've ever like coached or worked with. Whenever talking about Dip, like they're always like, "Yeah, that guy's just always in the right place." Like,
Yeah,
he's always just he's either marking or
That's
going
Spilo's coaching
backline
right
exactly when he needs to be.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like
said,
job
Dip,
doer.
be in the right place at all times.
He's a
It's
9 to
okay.
5 tracer.
he's a 9 to 5 tracer, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's earning a paycheck, and he's
Yeah.
I think they're an honorable Overwatch team. I'm just gonna. They're an honorable.
okay. Hold on, we don't know. I don't know about Hazard, but like we'll give them the excuse.
No, but they're like, they're not overly reliant on like star carry performers. They're just like they play good Overwatch. They're smart about their play.
It's so weird to say that about a team with FD gone on it, man.
Yeah, his Juno just got buffed, so I see the
slander,
vision.
man. I don't appreciate that FD got slander.
Wuyan Kiri, Juno Kiri, Lucio, like the FD God's hero pool is not what it
FD
used to
God's
be.
in?
Like it's good
What do you
now.
mean, what it, yeah.
FD
yeah,
God's in
true,
Yadra
true.
on Blizzard
More
World.
Sorry,
it's more than one character now.
It's
Yeah,
more
yeah,
than one
yeah.
character. Yeah, I'm not
A
sure.
hero puddle, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So
I need to review some more FD God Brig gameplay to start considering.
I
that
just
hero, but-
realized, by the way, while we were looking as well, this is FD God versus Violet. That's fun.
Yeah,
it's classic.
we actually.
Was it
they won this one.
For the
Yeah,
history.
it's
Yeah,
close
we
your
did
eyes,
reference that
you
on
know?
the cast actually. I didn't cast, but I did pull up the old San Francisco Shock when they played together. Yeah. I actually think that this first matchup against SSG is honestly a bit of a trap game for SSG, because I think Peps will come into this matchup like really fired up,
I agree.
and they'll be like, let's just like throw everything against the wall. And if SSG are in any way like hesitant or get slightly tilted in a first to two, very winnable for Peps here to just come out
Yeah.
the gates and look
Yeah.
really strong.
Especially that Sakura, like in the back of your mind, you're like, man, this has happened before. Remember, we almost lost. Don't forget, like that's got to be sitting in the back of your mind. It's like Peps is no slouch, so you better be tight. And like you said, Peps is literally nothing. It's the underdog buff. It's literally what Chris took advantage of back with London back in the day, right? Where like you could just play cheap Overwatch, just do anything you want, and you use that storyline. And now Peps is the one kind of going in there with that EU Overwatch chip on their shoulder, and it's like, that's a dangerous team.
I think underdog buff definitely like gets a bit of a downgrade if your opponent like takes you seriously though. So hopefully they're not like oh, this is a free win, let's just prep for the team after this,
Yeah.
which is what was
I-
happening quite a bit. And NA and EU, where people were like, oh, well, I don't need to prep for this person that I'm going to beat. I'm just going to prep for the next game. And then you actually lose the one that you needed to win. So
Yeah. It's tricky too, because I mean I can see both sides of the equation, because it's like you don't have infinite preparation time, so you do have to do a bit of a you do have to, like, I'm not saying you should ignore Peps, but you do have to give them the appropriate amount of preparation, because I doubt SSG is going to be happy with beating Peps and then losing the rest. They're going to play to win a couple of series, hopefully, right? But like you said, it's like how much is appropriate preparation time for a team, for this team? I mean, I don't know, like it's impossible to answer.
Just get a leak of their scrim codes and just be like, okay, we'll do this, and then
That's the start. Yeah, there you go.
All right. We have the last 3 teams here. Who can I rely on to talk about OWCS China here? Spilo, maybe you're not the most well-versed OWCS China.
Wait, I leave Shy. I know these names. Gushue, he plays Reinhardt, right? So yeah.
2019.
Yeah, Gushue, notoriously known for his Ryan,
Yes, the world's best Reinhardt. Yes, that's him.
So first of all, Solomon, when you try to pull up these VODs, it took me way too long to figure out that on Bilibili they don't have full VODs. All the maps and segments are separated
They're
into
in
chapters.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were in chapters, and I was like, how am I stuck in the pre-show and I can't find the actual match? So there you go. That's the chapter. I didn't realize this. So I was so confused.
It probably helps if you can read the language now.
You just Google Translate, people. Right click, translate to English.
Oh, there we go. How nice.
Yeah. Well, I did. It wasn't in.
Johnny's like, I tried that, but there was no translate the Swedish option for me.
Monitoring Station Gibraltar. That's my favorite map. Anyone else enjoy Monitoring Station Gibraltar?
I also love the Landon interview on the side there, translate the Chinese, where he shits on Weibo.
Alcad supports Landon's trash.
Look, OC has really been gassing up China, saying that it's not a one-team region anymore. The Team CC has really evolved here. I guess, AVRL, can I rely on you to answer that question? How competitive are Team CC compared to this region before?
They're getting there, but like if they only play Billy Dang, he is like an only off-tank guy. I feel like Team CC still just feels like best of the rest to me. Don't forget to log in, Solomon.
The quality is,
I can read some
it is
of
what
the
it
words.
is.
You can't get better quality without logging in, sadly.
Yeah. Sorry, we interrupted you, Abro.
CC, I can't tell if it's CC catching up or if Weibo is just falling behind. Because we've had this conversation, Johnny. It feels like Weibo's peak, we've gone past.
Yeah.
We're now like past the peak of Weibo, and the further we go into the future of Weibo, the worse they're gonna get. And so, are they getting worse or is CC getting better? And it is difficult to tell. Gushue has improved his hero pool a lot, so that helps. But go on.
I was gonna say, back in the day, we used to say all like the Chinese teams were like really mid teams with like just server admin DPS. Is that still the way these things go nowadays? Like just insane mechanical freaks with just like surrounded by teamwork that's like not great, or has that changed?
Teamwork is like teamwork gets rough for teams outside of Weibo, because Weibo like way more practice as a team, having played for how many years now. But they changed their main support a lot, and I still don't know if I really rate Mew. I feel like he does fine in China, and then you see him internationally, you're like, yeah, there's a gap there.
He still has some Violet moments. Like the Chinese Lucio equivalent of Violet, we're just like, oh, Mew got picked off because he was wall riding on this.
Mew doesn't even get paid for that. He does that for the love of the game.
Well,
so
for him.
Yeah, I feel like Shy's gotten worse. So it pains me to say, I feel like Shy doesn't have the it factor anymore on hit scan. It used to be, and people say maybe it was just a Soj before, but I feel like on a lot of his heroes, even outside the Soj, but particularly on the Soj, it was like, holy shit, it's that guy. To me, it was a lot of the loss to Shockwave. And that's not against Shockwave, but like traditionally, you would have backed Shy over Shockwave. Yeah. And Weibo losing to VP, who, maybe VP not being in the World Finals is going to be good for Weibo. But Shy is not as good as he used to be. Leave is like still reasonable, but the gap between him and like really top tier flex DPS is widened as well. I feel like the last time I saw Lee versus Proper, I was like, man, Proper's just so much better. Whereas I used to feel like that was more competitive back in the day. Not that they play each other super often. So
literal MVP. Overwatch League MVP 2021,
so
right?
they both were, yeah. So Weibo, the real plus is that Gushui's hero pool is way wider to the point where like I think it's completely dishonest to call him a Winston one trick now. So you'll even see in this finals he like goes Ram, he goes Zarya, like a couple of seconds on Diva, you know. But even before that, you saw him on Doom as well. You saw him
That's a flexible hero pool, right?
try
there.
and play some ball, although I don't really rate his ball, but he's getting there. He's really getting there. Oh, he
Who
played a
is
lot
it
of
that
Has in the
said playing
past.
Doomfist is not a flexible hero pool. I don't remember who said that, but
Johnny
Yeah.
just said that.
I did it. It's so funny.
Johnny was trying to
Gushui,
slander him.
he's such an unk at this point that his career has like chapters to it.
Yeah.
And he had a Doomfist
Just like Billy Billy.
chapter.
Yeah.
Just like Billy Billy. Whereas like Gushui had like a Doomfist phase, didn't he? Like 2022 or something. And
yeah,
it's like a really good
it
Doomfist
was
player.
The
It was in the
Bastion meta during
2023 World
Overwatch
Cup
2.
was in that kind of era.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then, you know, the first chapter, the Hangzhou Spark. Yeah, it's all... Here's what I'll say. This first map is bait because Weibo Gaming, as we're seeing Billy Deng, you know, off tank player, whatever. This Ilios is like bait because Weibo Gaming, we know that they're like fantastic when it comes. Fantastic is actually sad to say. I don't think they're fantastic anymore, but they're really good when it comes to like these dive compositions, right? They're going to pick Ilios, I think, every first map they can get as a high seed. They are a high seed going into this tournament, right? And that's worth noting. But if Solomon, if we can go to the maps in this series, like King's Row, I think that's when we get to like the meat and potatoes of like how strong these teams are. And this is also when you see Team CC at their best. Because I will say, these teams played Symmetra. And let me tell you, it was a ride. And I actually think that, like, was it Qadsiah Twisted Minds level? No. But was it better than NA? I think so.
This is a
actually
really good
think.
Start here. This frame here is beautiful. I like this.
Well, this went to
it's
overtime, by the way.
Bastion Sim. It's in the movie theater. It's amazing.
This feels like some
That's
like
what I call cinema.
4-point case Scrim Peak
Look at this
collegiate
shit.
team, you know, like
The TP on the Bastion on the high ground.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
This map went to overtime. Team CC, they won in overtime here as well. But I actually think like some of the sim TPs onto the high grounds, maybe not the first 10 seconds here, but they were like good, put them in a positional advantage in some of these fights. The ultimate layering, I think, was good at times, and like they actually looked fairly good playing these kind of compositions. I don't think Weibo Gaming are going to be able to like rely on that. Here we go with the login again. But I saw this stuff and I was more impressed by these teams than I thought I would be. Like let's just put it that way. Like I literally thought going into this tournament, I was just like, okay, Weibo Gaming, TCC, I think they're going to be like one of the weaker regions in this tournament. I think TCC are just going to get like stomped in the tournament. And then I watched them play stuff like this on this map. And it might have been like Atlas or something they flexed to as well. And again, I'll say it was night and day to EMEA, but it made me like at least give these teams a little bit more respect than I thought I had of them in the first place. So
I can't shake the fact that like if you blindfolded and said leave Shy and just went back, if they're on Symmetra Bastion, people back in the day would not believe you. Like that they
that's
think
true.
you're pulling their leg. No, that's Symmetra Bastion.
Try Goose Tree Zarya. That's the part where people will
Ooh,
definitely not
true.
believe you.
That's actually true, yeah.
But I saw this stuff and I just like Team CC went from they're gonna get stomped to they also could be a bit of a dark horse. Like if they're able to play some of these maps around Billy Deng,
Underdog buff. Yeah. maybe.
underdog buff, and you're like, what the fuck? This Chinese team is playing Symmetra against us, and then you know maybe you're not fully prepared for what they're throwing your way, and maybe that will be late in the lower bracket or something anyway, right? But I actually like put a little bit more respect on these teams than I thought I did initially. I don't think they'll be competitive with the top teams in the tournament. Weibo Gaming, like we said, overall, I think they're past their prime. Don't think they can rely on these compositions anymore.
They get to be the underdog now. That's the fun part. Is Weibo gets to be. We could see Qadsiah Weibo though, right? That'll be a fun one. Landon versus Weibo.
No,
That would be
that
amazing.
one would be the best. I want to see the grudge match. I want to see
All the-
I
yeah.
want to see Weibo fired up and yeah.
Imagine if
that'd be so fun.
Weibo beat Alcat in a sim mirror. That would be unreal. That'd be
I'll
so
consider
You
just
just
have to beat
said
GK.
something so evil, but yeah, I'd be down to see that.
We actually like it's quite likely we're gonna see it as well because Qadsiah just need to beat GK and then they're playing Weibo, so
Yeah, exactly.
that would be an epic matchup. I will say about Weibo, besides losing to BP, like I feel like they usually like deliver on LAN. They usually show up to LAN and they I don't want to say they overperform, but like they play.
They have
their
a
best.
Korea buff. They're good against Korean teams,
That's true.
but they
Wait,
I feel like they get caught out against
Korea, right?
non-Koreans.
So
Yeah, they
that
do.
gives them the buff. Yeah.
They have a massive Korea buff and then anti-buff versus Western teams, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't know. I watched this match and I thought, you know, I'll give them some props. I don't think they'll be candidates for going far in the tournament, but I think there'll be respectable teams that if you don't respect them enough, if you don't prepare enough, and you're not ready for some of this stuff, then you might actually like lose a crucial map or two, which could have big ramifications. So put some respect on China. I guess I'll say that. And then finally, to wrap up these team previews, we have VARREL. Oh boy.
I casted this game.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Yeah. Take it away, AVRL.
No, I won't.
You're like, I don't want to relive this. Is that the?
It was fine. It was good. They were good. This is the best VARREL we've ever seen. Like they, pretty sure if I remember the score correctly, they like dominated the final as well. They dominated their interregional game versus the Cali stack, and then pretty sure what did they 4-0 the final or something like that. They had a really nice comprehensive scoreline. They look like a way more well-rounded team than the other Pacific Japanese teams. We didn't get to see them versus Korea, so I don't know what they look like versus Korea. Probably they would have just been flawed, but like, how close do they look in terms of, are they even semi-competitive in fights? Can they get a couple of scores? Do they cap a few points? You know, we didn't get to really get an understanding of that. VARREL obviously beat CC, I'm pretty sure. They beat CC at mid-season. They beat one of the Chinese teams. It was a pretty good look for them, but
Might have been
like
Rock,
China,
maybe. I'm not sure.
but like China still isn't that. Might have been Rock. I can't remember. But China still isn't competitive enough, especially at that tournament where you're like, yeah, that was an insane win. It was a really good win for Japan because it was an international win. But like, if it was versus any other region, you would have been like, whoa. So still some major questions to be asked here. Obviously, there's some against like really strong international competition. I was gonna say their Japanese players will be really put under pressure, but even their Korean players, like Slay is fine. Top Dragon has had a real ups and downs in his careers, and he's probably their most consistent point. But even beyond that, it's gonna get weird. Also, I'm pretty sure Slay is also a flex support, so they by default run double flex support, and they have to sub in. But they have to sub in a Lucio player to play Lucio. Otherwise, their default is double flex support. Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen them play Alari on this map. Like,
Wow.
That was their
that's
go-to.
right.
Yeah, they played Loricomps. Yeah.
Slay can play Brig. That's the only option. Slay doesn't play Lucio. So if they have to play a main support, he just goes Brig. They're stuck. Their backline is super weird. So I think that's a weakness for sure.
Yeah, and they're playing Falcons in the first match,
little
which
unlucky.
is it's a little unlucky. I said it in our mid-season recap episode as well, AVRL, but like I at least rate that they have this like double flex support look, and I think that it's quite beneficial for their chances to at least go to a couple of like they have like a couple of go-to maps that they can pick for like second or third options, and maybe like steal a map or two. The first to two format, you never know. This is going to be the worst team at the tournament, but they at least have somewhat of a style in this double flex support look. And Top Dragon, I think he's kind of like, I don't know, maybe curse comparison, but a bit of like a Maimon playstyle or a hero pool kind of comparison where like Top Dragon, plays fucking Pharah here, but can't play like, the Echo, the Tracer. Like I trust Top Dragon to like be quite flexible depending on what map we're playing and stuff like that, right? So they at least have, somewhat of a style to them. So we'll see. But they have really tough matchups. They'd play Falcons, and if they lose, I think they'd play the loser of Peps and SSG.
Yeah. So it's
Right,
probably
no,
the best.
Does that even make sense? No, they play the loser of Crazy Raccoon and SSG over Peps. So.
Okay, so loser of SSG. Loser of SSG
well, okay.
or Crazy
Let's just say Crazy Raccoon win. They play the winner of SSG and Peps.
SSG. Okay.
So they play, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know, it's SSG and Peps. First to two, like, who knows? I've seen a lot of stuff. Anyway, all right, let's we're done with the team previews here. I know we've been going for quite a bit, so I appreciate everyone. Taking time.
Let's do the brackets. Let's do a bracket comparison.
Let's do the brackets. Spilo, I think you wanted to go last. Do you mind if we just do your first?
Yeah, I honestly don't care.
All right, we've all done individual brackets here. Spilo and Ray, you put yours in the group chat. Me and AVRL, we held ours close to our chest here.
Oh, I put it in the chat.
Them. Oh, you did?
Yeah, well, I looked at it like whenever you posted it.
Oh,
so
sorry.
it wasn't in advance or anything.
Oh, I must have missed that. Okay. Well, you don't know what my bracket is. Anyway, okay, Spilo. What do we let's take a look.
It can only go downhill for you guys from
I'm
this
just
one.
like the first line is so confusing. Like it's just
all right. So let me kind of clarify. I think Space
Yes.
Station. I think Hawk is going to single-handedly drag his team kicking and streaming until they run into Weibo, and then Weibo is just too freaking good, man. They're just going to win this match. So I've got Weibo winning the entire thing. They're going to dumpster everybody. They're going to dumpster Alcad. They're going to dumpster Space Station. Hawk is a fraud. Forget what I said before. Liquid, obviously monstrously overrated garbage can team from North America. And VARREL, I think, is vastly underrated. I was trying to, I was biting my lip with all the Top Dragon slander for the last 10 minutes or so. But I think Japan is not only an underrepresented region this stage, but I think they're honestly easily the best team in this entire thing. The only reason I'm favoring Weibo is just because I think VARREL just doesn't have the tournament performance experience, right? I don't think that they're going to function under the lights in the same way that Weibo is going to. So it's kind of GG, go next, but I think VARREL gets the next one. Now, the interesting one is the lower bracket here. So I don't
It's definitely one way of putting it. Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah. So the lower bracket here is, I think, the more interesting one, because if you look at VARREL, obviously they start from the lower bracket, from losing the team bucket, they get their vengeance here. But a really interesting one is how horrendously overrated Crazy Raccoon and Falcons are. I think these teams are trash. I think that I watched a video today about how the gap between North America and Korea is closing, and I could not agree more. I think Crazy Raccoon is getting exposed by Space Station. I think they're going to have some friendly fire between Crazy Raccoon and Team Falcons, and they're going to take each other out. And then Falcons is getting exposed by Old Man Kellex, and he's just gonna dunk on them, and just it's not even gonna be close.
We're having the actual legendary matchup between Crazy Raccoons and Falcons in round one of losers. That's the
losers
prediction.
bracket, right? As everybody would predict, right? Falcons don't even have the. Okay, so I think it's pretty clear here. So it's honestly I don't know where that screenshot came from.
That's doctored, actually.
Yeah, obviously I wouldn't say that. So
This
I'm
is so
obviously looking
false.
forward.
What is this? What is happening right now? I don't know where did this even come from?
You wouldn't get it, AVRL. You're just a caster.
This shit is more false than the Marvel Rivals hype. This is crazy. Like,
no. This is just me building hype. This is just me building hype by providing takes that I think are a little bit more educated and a little bit more maverick, sure, but I can't help it if you guys aren't smart enough to see the forest for the trees. So I think we're going to see some real surprises here, and I think
at that level of rage betting, you should be playing Marvel Rivals.
That's true.
I was going to say somebody is
true.
going to listen to this or clip this and go off on Reddit on you.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'm used to that at this point. So yeah, easy. Weibo pulls it off. Team China is clutching it up. Rise of Shy, and we're gonna have the whole gang mewing.
I've seen enough. Maybe we might as well
Let's
invite.
go into a good bracket. Let's go to a good bracket.
Okay. Do you wanna go next here?
To a great bracket.
Do you wanna go next, Ray? As opposed to what? Yeah, as opposed to what?
To a great.
Thank you,
bracket.
Spilo,
Great
for
bracket.
your coin flip bracket. Thank you, Spilo.
You're welcome.
All right, Ray, what do we got here?
Okay, so there is definitely some wishful thinking in my bracket, but I think it is based in logic. So I think for most,
Oh, just
I'm
like
sure
mine.
you
Just like
think
mine.
it's based on logic.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So I have pretty much like the predicted. Actually, you can't see my hand. They're like the predicted winners in like the round one. So like you have Space Station, Qadsiah, T1, Falcons, etc. I think where I started to think a little bit more is like how the meta will maybe have leaned a little bit more towards off-tank teams. So that's where I kind of gave the tiebreaker away. So yeah, I think it's pretty much completely predictable. Maybe there would be some argument about whether T1 could beat Twisted. That one I was a little unsure about. Maybe like with ball being nerfed. But I don't know. I'm a big T1 fan, but maybe this is the time that they can have the clutch factor. So we'll see.
You have Space Station in 4th place.
I do. Yeah. So it's okay. My spiciest take is that I think Space Station could beat T1. That's the spiciest one,
yeah.
I think. Yeah. I think everything else is like, I think acceptable levels of cope. I think that one's the biggest one, to be honest. So I think most likely Space Station are able to beat Weibo. If Weibo are really on the up, maybe that game will be pretty hard. But I think Space Station could get top 6 just off of their seeding alone. And then if they can beat T1, then I think that they'll probably maybe NA could finish top 4. That's the copium.
Is T1 the most volatile Korean team? Surely, right?
Yeah.
I think they're most unpredictable. I think,
Yeah,
to me
so,
at
like,
least.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. Like if you show up on a day, like the draft is good, SSG are in the right mindset. Like I think that's doable. But
They're
You
not
said-
tilted.
yeah.
You said the bracket was based on logic, but you have Peps losing. What's going on?
So I unfortunately I couldn't follow my heart. If I had my heart, Peps would go first place, but I couldn't follow my heart in that one.
So Peps versus VARREL grand final would be ideal.
I think actually the first bracket with instead of it being Weibo versus VARREL, I think it should actually just be Peps versus VARREL.
Peps versus VARREL.
Wow.
I honestly think we would see esports just end. It would be over.
It would be basically that one weekend of upsets that happens in EMEA and NA, but it's just be the
Yeah.
entire.
Yeah,
time.
It would be the most epic bracket of all time, and it would blow Overwatch up in France and Japan, and that would be ideal actually.
Yeah.
That'd be
No,
perfect
actually, that's
timeline.
true. That would be a monetary boon for Overwatch for sure.
See, here's the thing. You guys don't understand the level of my brilliance. I lose nothing here. It's a funny joke, or I somehow miraculously get some predictions right, and I'm literally I'm just gonna retire.
just be
right then and
Thanos,
there.
yeah.
I've peaked. I'll have peaked.
I
Yeah.
think the Overwatch League used to have these pick'em brackets, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we'll give $1 million if you get every map score correct there," and then they'd like insure against that amount or something. Like they'd buy
I don't
insurance
think
on
they,
it.
I don't
or
think they
whatever.
gave any money. What did they give away? I feel like they gave.
No, because like obviously like they wouldn't have $1 million in the bank account ready to give away, so they'd be like, well, they'd buy insurance, just like here's the probability that this would actually happen, and then they'd buy
Short
insurance
their
for
own
like
stock.
$1,000.
Speaking of betting and
So
predictions,
I just wanted to say,
they
if
have that in
Spilo
the
is
game.
correct, probably should get that $1 million from John Miller. So
They have
Sure, yeah.
pick'ems. It's just on the Chinese client, not the international one.
oh
Oh
yeah, what
yeah,
the fuck
that's
was
right.
that
I
about?
did see that. I did see
What the
that,
fuck
yeah.
was
We'll
that
talk
about?
about that after we do all of the brackets.
Oh my god.
All right, Avril,
We'll get
your
to that.
bracket. Let's see. I think we have the
If you
same grand
troll-
final. I
if
think
you
we have the same
troll,
grand
I'm gonna
finals
be so
matchup, but you
pissed.
have it going the other way.
Why are you pissed about me trolling but not Spilo trolling? Excuse me.
I can't have 2 trolls on the poll.
Look at him. He's literally about to burst into tears right in the podcast. Can you see that? His lip is
Ruined-
trembling. I can see it.
Okay. It's well, okay.
That's fine.
It's fine.
Well,
Fine.
It's fine.
well,
Ah.
I can't believe he put Crazy Raccoon Falcons in the grand finals.
Oh.
Well, I can't believe he put T1 in the top 3. Ridiculous.
The 3 Korean
You
teams
have
go top
Twisted
is
3.
Minds
basically-
losing to
this is
GK,
this
the
is
number 1
basically-
EMEA
this is-
seed.
This is basically the Weibo cope bracket, but aside from that, everything else I feel like makes a decent amount of sense. But it's a Weibo cope bracket where I put
Oh, wait, I
Weibo
do see that.
way
That is a
too
good
high.
point. So Geekay beat Twisted. Is that the prediction here on the bottom?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
spicy.
That is a spicy take.
It's a, sorry, let me rephrase this. It's a Weibo and GK cope bracket is what this is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lethal just toggles trust.
Well, I've said
Lethal
this
locks
before.
in the torb and he bonks Yubi in the head with a hammer. That's what happens.
Yeah.
I've said this
In real
before
life,
about
sorry, not in the actual game. That's how they win.
GK. They have like some like plot armor sometimes. I feel like they'll be like 0-2 in a series, and they'll just like suddenly run it back or something. So maybe.
I feel like they've got confidence, a lot of confidence. You look at like Lethal Admiral, and it's like, yeah, these guys, they're just gonna do stuff. They're just gonna do stuff.
They get to map 5 and they broker a deal and with TM and say, put up your best Wu Yang player and we'll have a Wu Yang 1v1 to decide it all.
Decide the whole series, yeah.
And team's like,
but
we
they're not
have agreed to
facing
this.
each other. They're like around corners.
Yeah,
So you have to
exactly.
predict
It's behind
where they
3
are.
walls.
Yeah, it's
that'd
behind
be
3
perfect,
walls.
actually.
It's like a snake room, and you just have to like fire the Thank you, AVRL. Any more?
I think the rest of the
incredible
bracket's
insights
fine.
here?
Rest of the
Yeah,
bracket's
Korea,
fine.
Korea on top.
I just shoved all the Korean teams to the front because
Yeah, exactly.
of
See,
course,
this is
because
why I
of
need to be
course.
here. You guys, everyone's so boring. Like everyone plays it so
And-
intelligently.
I wouldn't
What do
say
you mean
this is
boring?
boring.
I coped Weibo to top 4. How is this boring? What?
Okay,
Put it-
okay.
How is this boring?
That's not boring.
Dude, I have Weibo winning. Okay, so like, frick you, man. I'm way more. Yeah. Okay,
Also, I eliminated Twisted Minds early so they don't upset a Korean team again.
Oh, that's intelligent.
We tried to be a funny podcast, Spilo. We're shifting the winds here.
Good.
We're trying to.
Okay.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I respect that.
Yeah, I don't know what the viewers feel in our YouTube chat or Spilo's chat, but I feel like just maybe you take yours with a grain of salt. But I think both Ray and AVRL have provided pretty unique brackets that I
Yeah,
think.
true.
Wait, Ray,
people
did you have Crazy Raccoon winning or Falcons winning the final?
I had Raccoons winning, so that we're against each other.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing: is I say it's a Weibo GK code bracket. It's actually a Falcons code bracket.
I was gonna say.
Falcons beating Crazy Raccoon twice, which doesn't usually happen. I think in Dallas they beat them in the upper and then lost in the final. And then Stockholm, was it the opposite? I can't remember. Or did Stockholm last year? Did they beat them twice? I can't remember. But usually I feel like Falcons never get to beat Crazy Raccoon twice in a
The
row.
double,
Or
yeah.
they'll beat them like one time.
Well,
So
what I'm
it's a
really
Falcons code
noticing,
bracket.
what I'm noticing is actually the biggest cope is that Crazy Raccoons lose the first game and then lose the second game. What about losers bracket buff? Like that happens almost every time. That happens every time they verse each other. The one that loses the first one.
I just
Okay.
checked. Stockholm last year, Falcons did beat Crazy Raccoon twice in a row.
Oh,
It
okay.
has happened.
Ooh.
That was a 3-0, then a 4-1 actually.
So
they
we're
dominated
predicting
them.
the three-peat basically. Is it, or
Wait,
no?
that was
that
it
was
Malga?
that's not.
Was it Malga?
I mean, that
Stockholm?
was.
It was Malga. Stockholm last year was Malga, yeah.
Oh, come on. Okay,
Yeah.
Could have been a worse
train
meta
on the
for
But they
Malga.
also
Train on
lost
it.
Malga in Dallas. They also lost versus Crazy Raccoon, and that was Malga too.
Yeah,
So
it's
they've
because
lost.
9K
But then
had
again,
locked in.
Jimbin
9K
cheated because
had
he went
locked in.
hog. And hog is the only thing less honorable than Malga.
Mhm.
I don't know. At this point, 2025, if someone wins on Hog, I'm like impressed. I'm like, good for you. Crocs,
Hog
pop
just
off,
tilt
king.
swaps the hog all the way to the finals. He
Yeah.
tilt swaps one
Crocs.
time and he's like, this is working. And it just doesn't tilt swap off.
If someone wins with Road Dogg, I'm gonna be like, holy shit! I'm
Yeah,
not even
unless
mad.
you're in Plat.
That's amazing. That's not going to happen, by the way. All right. I went the extra step here, and I added
Oh, you put the scores?
I did actually, which is kind of cringe. It's kind of cringe.
So try hard.
Let's
So
try
I
it.
think
yeah, exactly.
The
What
main
was I
difference
saying?
is, I suppose, is that I'm representing EMEA over here. I'm just
He put every team with a
EMEA
Swedish
chill.
player in front.
So
He has a full Maximus Swedish cope. He even put Qadsiah on the roster, on the team list, even though he's not here.
yeah. Qadsiah is somewhere here. He's just a stealth manipulator here. So I wouldn't read into the scores too much. By the way,
I'm reading into them.
This guy
Yeah,
put
there's also-
Twisted Minds in
reading
top
right now.
3. This is the ultimate Twisted Minds cope bracket.
okay, well, if you predict fucking Weibo Gaming up there, then I'm allowed to put
I'll
Twisted
allow it.
Minds up there. And yes, I know that it's not first to 3 in the lower bracket, but freaking hell. So I guess my main takeaways here is that I actually think that EMEA, Qadsiah TM will beat T1. So I got Qadsiah beating T1 3-2, which means Twisted Minds, Qadsiah top 4. And Twisted Minds, they will get ever so close to beating Crazy Raccoon, but the gap is not close enough. It just isn't.
They literally beat Crazy Raccoon in midseason.
Yeah, I know they did, but
But
not
the
this time.
Raccoons are coming back
Peps
with
with
a
the-
vengeance.
They did,
They're,
but
Dude.
not this time.
they're angry
dude.
raccoons now.
The real pretty thing here is the Peps and VARREL map. We love that. Look at that. Look at that. It's gorgeous. One map for each.
Wow, that's really optimistic.
I literally think Reinforce is like, you know what? Let's just see it.
Of all
Let's
the
just give
brackets,
it
the
to
biggest
them.
cope is the
I
fact
love
that he gave them a map.
The 3-1, the classic 3-1. Yeah, so I guess
Oh my god.
I don't rate Weibo as highly. I think Twisted Minds coming from the upper bracket, that's gonna make so Weibo won't get the free Elios or whatever. I think it's gonna help Twisted Minds. Same goes for Qadsiah against T1. I don't rate Space Station as highly as Ray does because I got Weibo Gaming beating
a really
them.
nice set of games. I think that's most of it. To be honest.
Yeah, I do have CC. I think they'll make it really close against Weibo, and I could even see CC beating Weibo Gaming, but probably not actually because Weibo gets.
You
first
even
match.
gave
They get
CC a
Elios.
map versus T1.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking there, but and then
you
I
were
got
just watching China all night. You're like, these guys are so good.
no, I watched it.
Johnny is so generous. He gives a map to everyone. Look how many 3-1s are in his bracket. Everyone gets a 3. Everyone gets a map. Everyone gets a map.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, look at that.
Well, I think
Everyone
it's
gets
strong.
3-1s.
Losers map pick, it's strong. You get first ban because losers map pick. Come on, it makes sense. And you guys are fucking reading
true.
into the scores.
That's true.
But then, yeah, I think first map pick is going to be so strong this tournament. So if you are one of the teams in the upper bracket, I think it's going to be really good for you. And then, yeah, sorry, Liquid, I got you choking in map 5 on LAN against T1. Sorry, guys.
They're never going to live that down.
Yeah.
That'll be so painful.
So there you go. I think Twisted Minds are crazy fucking good right now. And I think the meta is really strong for them. And I was so close to predicting Twisted Minds actually genuinely beating Crazy Raccoon. But I think that would have been too much lending of the cross the crack pipe that I just couldn't go there. But I think Twisted Minds, like I see, are seriously strong. A little bit more hesitant on Qadsiah. I have them beating T1, but I could see Qadsiah. Like I think that's a coin flip. But I do for sure think that Twisted Minds are better than T1 and Qadsiah. So that's kind of where I landed. And then I got Falcons beating Crazy Raccoon in the upper bracket. So there you go. That's my bracket.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Beautiful.
And that's all our brackets. We'd put up a YouTube poll for which one people prefer, but Spilo would win because everyone would meme
That's true,
vote
actually.
for Spilo.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
There you go.
I would also vote for his bracket.
Thank you, Ray.
Me too.
I vote for your bracket. It's nice.
Oh,
It's good.
thanks.
Yeah, it's a great bracket.
Avril, we'll get a bond together and vote for each other's bracketeers. So I'm sure we'll get votes. All right. I guess.
Manipulate the votes.
Do you have any? Oh, what is this? Solomon, are you making a bracket?
It's the Solomon's bracket.
Okay, Solomon's bracket.
Solomon
Real-time
bracket.
bracket.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Put Peps in the
Coin flip
grand
it.
final.
Flip the
Peps win
coin.
whole thing.
Flip the coin.
Peps win
Yes.
the whole thing.
Oh!
Yes, I like this start. Yes.
He's just trying to find a way to get VARREL Peps in there.
Team CC? Oh, hell yeah.
Wait.
Oh, wow.
Hey, whoa.
Did he mess it up?
This is the spider bracket. He's copying the spider bracket. What the fuck?
No.
No, VARREL was in lower bracket in this one. This one is upper bracket.
Mine was realistic, guys. VARREL's in lower bracket. They made the lower bracket run. Come on.
This is great work, Solomon. Avril, did you have any of those links you were referencing earlier the episode? Like, are we talking about China betting now, or I guess
Sombra.
Vendetta was revealed?
Hold up.
Sombra on Twitter.
Yeah,
Battle
poor
Peps in the
Overwatch.
finals. That's awesome. That's great.
This
Just
is
trying
the
to remember
perfect
who
bracket. No
retweeted. There was a
notes.
bunch of people who retweeted this. This has got so many views on it. Hold up, here it is. Let me send this. All right, Jamie, pull up the tweet.
By the way, I feel bad for GK because I had GK losing early in my bracket, and I actually don't think they're that bad, but I think they got scammed with their matchups. So I'm just gonna say that again. Still love you, GK. All right, what the fuck is this?
Johnny, read the tweet.
OWCS Finals now has in-game page for Chinese players, which includes with the schedule a mini events, play game to earn points in this event, and betting to gain points in this event, along with being able to get OWCS skins, which includes ones that are yet to be released. So you can predict matches and you can win points and buy skins that aren't released.
I don't know. You get to play pick'ems and earn points to buy skins, which is like the best way to do betting, where you're not even using real money. You're just playing with points,
Virtual
right?
money.
You're just like, yeah. This is like they have it's just like the most insane esports tab where you get to play a mini event alongside the esport through the pick'ems. insane. I love it.
Whoa!
That's cool.
I mean, the follow-up tweets are also crazy. Just to clarify, Blizzard did not make this. This was NetEase that made this for the Chinese audience in mind, which is part of their ongoing deal that allowed them to make exclusive events, which those deals were completely non-negotiable in order to bring the game back to China. Another thing I do want to correct is that betting here is guess one winner and guess which team will have first kill or which player will be there. It's more like a guessing instead of actually betting, so apologies for the mix-up. But still, exclusive China events, non-negotiable? I mean, that's pretty crazy when you consider where we were like 3 years ago.
Yeah, they should add this to the base, like to every region. Like, this is fun.
2025 society.
People will actually watch the game again. Let's go.
Too many.
That's how we're gonna get folks back. Ray is betting.
Betting, yeah.
Oh my god.
It's just pick'ems. I think like in client pick'ems are awesome. Like
Violet's gonna have
we
so
had
many
pick'ems
points.
now the whole time. But like, yeah, no, too many casual player base players in like the early days complained. We used to have some sort of like a live now Overwatch League thing in the menu itself. People didn't like that. We had Overwatch League promoted on the Battle.net client. People didn't like that. Too many normies complained about it, so we never got this level of esports support.
Wait, why
about
would people
that?
complain? It doesn't affect you.
Too many. You would think that, and yet the
Everyone's
Reddit and
notification tab
particularly
is
the
crazy.
Battle.net normies super hard complain about this stuff.
This is annoying. Something like
They're
that.
forcing esports. It's
They
like,
have,
oh my god.
They have the little news thing in the client now, and it's like sign up for Face It season 7 or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I know that there was a lot of like rumors back in the day, which you guys have probably read that Blizzard book about Overwatch League sapping resources away from the main game, and Jeff Kaplan, and all they wanted was Overwatch League. And I mean, you still read that in the Blizzard forums today, you know, even though it got busted a long time ago. But there's probably still that impression that like esports and pro players ruin every game. Ah.
Oh, they literally think Blizzard balanced the game around esports
Yeah.
as a reason why they
It's
don't
so
like esports.
laughable.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
dumbest thing because you talk to
Jeff-
any pro player, it's like Lamau. You know,
Jeff
it's like
Kaplan
this is
classically was a big concern. He was very concerned about pro balance for the Overwatch.
Yes,
League.
yes.
Very famously concerned
Yeah.
about the pro balance.
Yeah, the cat
So-
picking the hero pools for the
Yes.
week definitely
Brigitte
gave
was just
me
a skill issue,
seriousness.
guys.
Yeah.
Brigitte was just a skill issue. We just needed to
Well,
figure
I'm
it
so
out.
That's why
glad.
we don't get.
You know what? They
international
buffed
flight.
Reaper May for like you remember that they buffed Reaper May for like a year.
I will say
They're
this.
like, why are
If
you
you
playing
get-
the tank busting characters, guys?
If you get free stuff, if you give away things, let's say you do the pick'ems, you earn points, and use those points to get skins, I think we can get the casuals back in. I think the casuals can get
True.
behind that as long as you give them free shit. You know, that's
Yeah.
what it comes down to.
True.
Actually, the secret thing will be that they'll say, well, it's not fair. Like I'm a completionist or something, and I didn't pick right because I don't know. I don't care that much, and I didn't get my skin, so it'll be something like that.
Yeah.
So-
What they should
Well,
have
not
is that you
everyone,
can
not
just-
everyone
good.
finishes the battle
Every-
pass either.
Everyone gets 1,000 points, right? So you could just buy one skin. That's it. But then if you want to try to gamble for 3 or 4,
There you
just
go.
I feel like it's not
Yeah.
like you lose. It's like I don't know how this system works.
Yeah.
Like I'd imagine, like you don't lose points. You just get more points if you pick correctly. You
Yeah,
don't
that's probably true.
Yeah, you don't lose your shit.
It's
you
not
just get
gambling versus other. It's just infinite currency, basically. They're just handing
That's like
you
a
more
quiz. Like you get it right, then you get
Right.
You
more.
get.
That's
a
what
prize.
pick'ems
right?
are really. Like I think that's like in my mind how pick'ems work.
It's like me with my
But-
bracket. I have nothing to lose, just everything to gain, basically. Same thing.
So yeah, I think people will get behind it if they get free things. So let's get it
just
in there.
develop more things. Just make more.
Blizzard
cosmetics.
should.
Make
well,
more
it's
stuff.
already there.
Yeah.
Blizzard should just be like, hey, can we just have this or whatever
developing.
they need to work out.
Well, it's not
whatever needs to happen.
exclusive, so I don't know. Who knows? Maybe NetEase is just copyright that some shit, which doesn't make sense. But I don't know. I'm indifferent about guessing things in my client. I like
It's
my
just good
pure
promotion.
Overwatch the
It's
way it
just
is.
good promotion for OWCS.
No, yeah, of
if
course
we get
is.
it.
Of course it is.
And it's not
Um,
even like you're having to give away super exclusive stuff. Like if you looked at the skins, they were
It's like a
all the
recolor,
OWCS
right?
recolors,
Yeah.
and then the Starship Orisa, which is quite nice. So you're not even like really giving away too much. You're just giving away some fun stuff.
You see this with drops
Yeah.
all the time. They're like, what are we getting? 1 battle pass skip, 1 sticker, and a recolor. But people are like, yeah, gotta get my drops. I mean,
Hell
even,
yeah,
dude, I do that all the time. I'll leave a stream up for my drops. Like,
Yeah,
what am I
of
doing?
course.
I'm never gonna use this skin. Oh no. And
What if
the
I don't have
existential
it? What if
dread.
I want it?
Right, I know,
Exactly.
right?
You learn to live without it, and me and Avril knows because we never get to.
No,
Oh, yeah,
dude, I
never to
leave the
watch
stream
live,
on.
yeah.
No. I first of all, if you stream it, you also get it through just you stream it. But second of all, even if I'm casting, I just have like a tab open,
No.
just farming the drops while I'm casting.
No.
Dude, this
Yeah,
guy,
on your
he'll be casting a game or something, or he just jumps in my Twitch chat, like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, and then he's just like casting the game. Or
Like you're
whatever.
actually you're in a game right now.
Tell you what.
I'm getting my drops too. What are we talking about right
Yeah,
now?
that's right. That's right.
Yeah?
That's right.
All
Free
right.
stuff. That's what we learned today. People like free stuff. It's been a great episode. It's been a long episode. I just
We managed
would
to
love-
yap for 2.5, almost 2 hours. A little over 2 hours.
Yeah, I'd say more than 2 hours here. I would love just 5 more minutes of your time to just like instant reaction to like Vendetta being announced and revealed. Me and Spilo, we both had a chance to playtest.
Hang on.
Vendetta. Spilo made a video actually, so go check that out. Go watch that video. I haven't
6-hour
watched it,
Vendetta
but
video.
I'm sure it's good.
Let's go to Twitter to see what the reactions to Vendetta are.
No, for fuck's sake, we're not making the fucking magic comparisons. Shut up. We're not going there. I don't want
I
to see
actually
more
think Ray's
revival.
As a tank player,
I think Ray's comparison is best.
I'm
Everyone
quitting
just copied
Overwatch
Riven from
because
League of
he
Legends.
didn't make
Actually,
me a
just a
tank.
big copy
Yes,
from Riven.
exactly. Yes,
Ray
it's
got it right
Riven.
the whole time.
Me and my fellow tank players are going to quit Overwatch forever because they didn't make Vendetta a tank as they promised. They told me, Jeff Kaplan came in my dream and said, it's a tank player. And they lied. Again, Blizzard, classic.
So,
Could they
are
do
you guys
that to
allowed to
you?
tell us about the gameplay, given that you've already played it, or are you guys
Yeah.
not allowed to tell
Devon?
us?
No, I'm allowed to talk about anything gameplay.
Go on. Yeah. Start. Begin.
She's like brawl DPS. That's basically it with mobility, but she's got some mobility tools that aren't super snappy, but that are pretty good. Burst is not amazing, but I think they're trying to like lean away from the DPS Doomfist where like instant one shot or instant death every single time. She's going to be overtuned with block almost certainly, but I do think that like I'd rather heard them going at the sustain route with melee DPS. And she has like pretty decent fun mobility options.
How
Yeah.
How easy is it to get the range? Because she does like one ranged attack, right? With a little
Yeah.
eye strike
It
looking thing.
blocks
How
her-
easy is
blocks
it to
her
get that?
It's not super easy, and it's also
Is it
like
very strong?
kind of. The big thing is that it consumes your resource, which is like by far your
Oh.
most important. Like you need your block resource to do it.
So she's
'cause
like
it's
99%.
Oh, it's like
melee then, right?
it's like hazard block resource.
No,
or
well,
something?
okay, so it's like block resource in the fact that there's a limited resource, but rather than hazard block, which is time related, hers is damage related, like a shield. So it's 250 HP, and after
Oh.
she takes a certain amount of damage, it just
It
breaks.
drops. Yeah.
So you can break it, and so I mean it'll regenerate, but you have to be really careful. Now it's still, I think it's still too strong because it's really hard to headshot her during the block. So 250 is 250, you know. But yeah, it's you can break it 100%.
Is she a 300 HP hero? I assume she is.
275, 50 armor.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say if you're a melee hero, you
Yeah.
gotta at least have like Reaper tankiness minimum.
But yeah, you're just like holding off angles, staging from high ground, going for combo, blocking in and out. When I was playing her, a lot of it was just kind of like holding cycles and backline if the map had me, or on a short angle and just holding attention, getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out. Very dive tank hybrid kind of sort of, but also she can get kind of picked apart by super mobile characters. So
Yeah, I think on a like just fundamentally on a high level, I think it's hard to make a flex DPS melee character work, you know, with how important spacing and staging and stuff like that is. So like
yeah,
there would be some opportunities on some maps, maybe, depending on like how strong she is for like holding angles, considering like how powerful she is up close in melee. But I think one of the things you kind of briefly touched as well is like the animations are like quite long. It's not a snappy, fast character. So if we're discussing heroes like Tracer, Freya, like I don't think like Vendetta, I think is an awesome character. Would be really fun. Can't wait to play. But I don't think this is like a pro level character unless something's kind of wrong with the tuning or
What?
balancing. I just think fundamentally the
she's
kit
more,
doesn't lend itself to pro play. I think.
she's more fluid than when we first playtested her. Let's put it that
Okay,
way.
fair enough.
What's
For me,
the,
it was like ages ago, so there was like very early
she
version.
she was super clunky.
Okay,
But
fair enough.
She's better now.
So what role / hero is she closest in design to? Or
Venture.
is she like so
Venture. I would say she's
unique?
in like Venture. Right?
Venture.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I was gonna say maybe DPS Doom, but does she have like a Venture Doomfist shield regen thing where you just get like
No,
shields
it's
to help
it's
tank?
the block. It's the block.
feel
one of her
like-
perks gives her lifesteal on her.
It's on the overhead swing, yeah, 30%.
Because I feel like these melee focused type of heroes need something like that to stay in fights. Because I think melee heroes like this in a game like Overwatch can be really hard to design just because you just get outranged and you get out-kited. So you need to like be hyper mobile and have a lot of damage to make up for it, but then you're just annoying to play into.
So in the same way that Venture can kind of just sustain themselves doing damage, Vendetta is more like you're gonna do damage and then you're gonna block, then you do damage, you're gonna block, and then you get in, and then you go out and do damage and block, right? There's gonna be a lot of
cooldown
weaving.
short?
1 second. 1 second.
It's
more
1
about
second
the
on a resource with the HP.
Yeah, but you will break it. Like I said, 250 HP. Like that resource will.
So how
deplete
long
if
does
you
the
take damage.
HP come back then?
Relatively fast.
It's like
I
a
believe.
Reinhardt shield type of thing, right? Where like
Yeah.
as long as you have some HP, you can pull it up, but
Yeah.
you have to wait for the HP to come back.
Yeah, and you could be CC
Interesting.
through it to it. So it's not like an actual shield that can block like hinder and sleep and stuff. You're just gonna get if you're stupid, you will get crowd controlled. But the good news is that you have like it's like Venture, like you have mobility, so you can just take angles and oftentimes kind of force CDs. The difference between Venture and Vendetta is that you do have to close the gap a little bit. Where Venture can at least hold an angle and poke and force some CDs a little bit, but not so with Vendetta. So
You also don't have the safety, just burrowing in and out.
I mean,
Uh,
Venture threatens
yeah.
space in like a different way, right?
yeah, Venture also like has the animation of burrow, so it's like it's comparable, but there's like different strengths and weaknesses. But like Vendetta can hold your attention for way longer than a Venture though. So
Or it just feels like a get out of jail card, which Vendetta doesn't seem to have. Maybe that's a good thing.
Kind of. Like
What?
I said, it's just different.
What does the ultimate do?
Big old giant whoosh. Like think about like Fire Strike on steroids, like big
It
Fire
goes through
much
Strike.
damage-
shields.
How much
It's like-
damage does it do?
There's 3 tiers. It charges up like Doomfist Punch, and you're stuck when you're
Wow.
doing it. Yeah, you're stuck when you're doing it. And it does, I don't know, it's like I want to say like 150 to 350 along the 3 tiers. That's a complete ballpark estimate, but it will one-shot you, I think, if you charge it to like tier 2 or tier 3. But it's
It goes
really
through
avoidable.
shields, right? Like
Yeah, it does. I'm pretty sure there's some weird interactions, but I'm pretty sure it goes through shields. And also, you're really vulnerable when you do it, and it's also pretty easy to avoid. So it's like, it's gonna be like it's gonna get a 4K, or you're just gonna get nobody. Sometimes, like that's just kind of how it goes.
I was gonna get Suzu'd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not. It's definitely like one of the more inconsistent ultimates that I think that we'll see for the DPS cast.
Sometimes people ask if we're able to give feedback and get things changed in the game by, playtesting and helping out the developers. And I just want to say that back when I first played Vendetta, the pineapple pizza was still a thing. And my main complaint was that an Italian hero can't like pineapple pizza. And so if that was changed because of me, there you go. You're welcome.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
huge.
Along with some other feedback that I can't remember because it was so long ago. Anyway, yeah, that's a bit of a preview. If you want to hear more about Vendetta, then go check out Spilo's video on it. Because you did a whole freaking video on it. All right, thank you so much, Spilo, Ray, AVRL. Thank you for taking the time. Shout out to Solomon, the best producer in esports. Yeah, it's been a fantastic episode. So can't wait for Stockholm. It's gonna be a sick event. Spilo, you're gonna co-stream the entire thing?
Yes and no. 1 or 2 days potentially, but it's like at a bad time. It's like Thanksgiving, and
Right.
it's like it's like
Yes,
awkward,
that's
so,
felt.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's also Vendetta playtest as well, which I probably will be prioritizing the OWCS over Vendetta, but it's like it's definitely a choice. Its timing is unfortunate for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah. It is unfortunate indeed. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to
Thank you.
Pleasure Overwatch episode 283, and we'll be back